Blazy Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. WLUM, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game. They're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the most lifeless week of sports we have in the entire calendar year. Guess what? It's not going to stop us from doing shows. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Minute. Kyle Sandel is behind the glass, and after a full weekend, honestly, like for as much as there's not a lot going on this upcoming week. This weekend was fantastic, or at least it was supposed to be. We had the McGregor fight, lack thereof fight Saturday night. We had the World Cup matches. We had the Tigers back in action, and that's exactly where we're going to start things out. Also, last night got a lot of rumors starting to swirl around that Warde Manuel might be out of a job in the coming days. We'll dive more into that in the 10 o'clock hour. But let's start out with this Detroit Tigers team. I'm going to convince you in a matter of 90 seconds why trading Tarek Skubal is the correct thing to do at this year's deadline. I know they're hot, even though they just lost this series against the Phillies this weekend, which served as a good reality check that you're a little further away than you might think. But here's how I'll convince you in a matter of 90 seconds that trading Tarek Skubal is the right decision. Including the playoffs, since last September, since September 10th of last year, including the postseason, the Tigers are 8-11 in games in which Tarek Skubal has started. Framber Valdez is 8-11 in games this year, guys. The Tigers aren't consistently winning that Tarek Skubal starts. This is no longer Tarek Skubal and everybody else. He's backpacking this team. That's not the case. They struggle to win games when he's out there. So if you're not even winning those games and there's a threat for him to leave and walk away for nothing but a comp pick this offseason, why not trade him away? You are not trading away a Ferrari to pay rent. That's not what you're doing. You're not trading away a Ferrari to pay rent. That's not this Tarek Skubal situation. How you have to think of it is you're trading away a Ferrari with 70,000 miles on it for a brand new Camaro, BMW, and Volkswagen. No, not a Volkswagen. I don't know. A new Jeep, whatever you want. You're trading in a Ferrari for three brand new cars potentially. And guess what? You will still have a chance to retain Tarek Skubal even after you trade him away. I'm starting to feel like that is more of a realistic opportunity that the Tigers will have more and more because of this new collective bargaining agreement. If Tarek Skubal wants to be here so badly, which is what him and his agent have said for a long time, if that really is true, guess what? These max contracts are going to eliminate the factor of a $400 million deal. That's the number that it always has been. That feels more unrealistic by the day. If these max contracts truly do get put into place, everyone's going to have a fair opportunity to go get Tarek Skubal. So if he really wants to be in Detroit, Detroit might be able to hand him one of these max contracts, and it's not going to be any more or less than what every other team can offer him. So then we'll really find out whether or not Tarek Skubal wants to be in Detroit. You could potentially sell the Ferrari, get the brand new Camaro, get the brand new Jeep, and get the brand new BMW, and still buy back the Ferrari for the same price, if not a way cheaper deal than you thought it was going to be. That's where it becomes so blatantly obvious what they have to do with Tarek Skubal. But that, to me, is what they should do. The number one question I get asked more than what should the Tigers do with Tarek Skubal is what are they going to do with Tarek Skubal? And my answer to that up until this weekend has always been, I don't know. They haven't given us any sort of sign as to what they are going to do with Tarek Skubal until this weekend when the MLB draft rolls around and they take Cameron Flukie, terrible last name, but a 21-year-old pitcher who can throw 99, a college pitcher, so they break the mold both in terms of the position that they took and the fact that he was a college player, not a player out of high school. This was their first-round pick, who in a lot of mock drafts was a top 10 pick. It's a pitcher who dealt with some injuries during college this past season, kept him out a month, little rib thing going on in the month of May. That's neither here or there. The fact that they took a 21-year-old pitcher tells you, oh, this isn't some 3-year plan where you start in low A or you start in rookie ball and then low A, high. Odds are this guy should be starting in West Michigan when he gets ramped up. college baseball season ends quite early compared to the Major League Baseball season, so there's going to be a little bit of a ramp-up period. But once he's ready, he should be starting in West Michigan. 21-year-old who throws 99 miles per hour. We have seen how extraordinary some of these college players fly through the farm systems. And I'm not telling you, expect him to be here as soon as next season, but that's not off the table at all. And if they're drafting more ready-now players, ready-now prospects, guys who are going to be ready to contribute at the big sooner rather than later at the pitching level, after years and years of taking high school bats, doesn't that kind of tell you, hey, we're trying to look for Tarek Skubal replacements? And then Sunday rolls around. That was Saturday. Sunday rolls around, and they pulled Tarek Skubal in the 6th inning after 93 pitches. Tarek Skubal's livid. He's pissed about it. This has been a story with Tarek Skubal for a long time. Why does he not demand to be out there more? Why don't the Tigers let Tarek Skubal go the distance? He's unable to go the distance. I've seen that a few times. Or it's the simple version of this. The Tigers aren't going to let him throw his arm out until he commits to them long term. And until he does that, they need to protect his arm, a.k.a. his trade value. Because if I'm the Detroit Tigers, yeah, it sounds great to let him go 120 pitches until he blows his arm out and you can't move him. So until Tarek Skubal signs that dotted line, I wouldn't be trying to throw Tarek Skubal 100 pitches either. And I would be very cautious about how long you're keeping him out on the mound. Gives up a leadoff single to Bryce Harper. Bam, immediately pulled in the 6th inning with zero hesitation from A.J. Hinch. Happened in the playoffs as well. Pulled him from the game even though he wanted to be out there. You know what that's called? Protecting your investment. Protecting Tarek Skubal's trade value. Because we are now in a situation after a series loss. Trading Tarek Skubal feels more inevitable than it ever has been. So maybe that was a little more than 90 seconds. But I sure hope, Kyle, that convinces those out there who believe that Tarek Skubal should not be dealt. It convinces them otherwise. A chance to be able to get some awesome players back for him that can help now. It's the Ferrari to the Camaro and the BMW analogy. While there's a chance you could still find the way back to the Ferrari this offseason with the max contracts. Plus, for the first time, I felt like this Saturday in the Major League Baseball draft, the Tigers gave us some sign as to what they are actually thinking with this Tarek Skubal trade deadline situation, because I feel like we've been in the dark about this for basically the entire season in terms of predicting what they're going to do rather than discussing what they should do.
Right, and everything that we can predict about what they're going to do is all just based off of the past of Scott Harris, and the past of Scott Harris is very up in the air. You know, there's a mixed bag of things that he has done at the trade deadline. So, yeah, you do have to kind of start to read the tea leaves a little bit. I will say, to counter some of those points, first off, I think the drafting of a pitcher thing is less of a we're finding the Tarek Skubal replacement and more of what we've continued to harp on the last couple weeks. Like, you look at this farm system, there just is not a lot of arms in this top 30 that you know about even.
Correct.
So it's just adding to that group in general. It felt like the right pick anyways. He was the third high school or the third college right-hander off the board. So I know it was all the way down at 21, but this was a position player loaded draft for the most part. Did you see who the right-hander went before him? His name was, though? Went to the Cincinnati Reds. Justin LeBron. His last name is LeBron, spelt the same way.
The capital B and everything?
Not the capital B. I guess no, but so I'm already disappointed because we could have had that guy. But anyways, yeah.
And instead they got a guy with the last name Fluky.
Ugh.
It's bad vibes all around.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Fluky can be pretty good, but I like a guy with a funny last name. But anyways, back to the points you're making about Skubal. You're right in the fact that I don't think there's any more convincing that needs to be done for why they should trade him. The convincing was take away everything from Saturday and Friday and everything else. Just watch the game on Sunday. They lost the game that he pitched in again. You're 8-11 in the last 19 starts. That's all that anyone should need to know. He pitches one of every 5 days. It's not taking anything away from the fact that he is amazing, because he is, and he pitched pretty good again the other day as well.
But just because he's out there doesn't guarantee
it doesn't
the Tigers
guarantee
to
anything.
win.
If anything, it's guaranteed like they are worse for some reason.
There's an overwhelming amount of evidence right now that Tarek Skubal does not translate to wins.
And this could just be as obvious as, of course, when the ace is on the mound, it likely means that the other team's ace is on the mound. We got a prime example of that yesterday with Zach Wheeler. Man, Zach Wheeler, ever since he got snubbed from the All-Star game, has been on a bit of a tear, and Tigers caught him at an unfortunate time. So it's that obviously plays into it. The Tigers have never given the run support to Tarek Skubal that they do for some of their other guys. It's always been a weird thing with him. But all of those points that have been made, I actually feel like I am starting to think that the approach from Skubal and Scott Boras in their camp has shifted to they are actually trying to put pressure on the Tigers front office to trade him. Rather than all this hidden messaging they're doing of, hey, we want the Tigers to buy at the deadline. We got the report from Bob Nightingale this weekend, which he's been like kind of a mouthpiece for Tarek Skubal and Scott Boras throughout this entire process of just saying, hey, Tarek Skubal has said that he wants to be on the Tigers the rest of this season. He thinks that they are a real World Series team if they can put the right pieces around and go on a playoff run. My thought is, okay, they're basically giving Scott Harris no option of doing nothing. You're either trading me or you are buying. And obviously it would be the dumbest thing ever for the Tigers to buy without trading Tarek Skubal, right? They're not going to do that.
And also that whole quote from Bob Nightingale, first of all, like taking that at surface value is just like asinine in general. You have to read between the tea leaves on every single thing that gets put out regarding Tarek Skubal because there's always a hidden message behind it. So to take it at its word is a little immature, in my opinion. But then, second of all, I want to be with the Tigers, ... for the rest of the season. Like, dog, you can't be... You're like trying intentionally to piss people off and piss the front office off. Oh, we want to be with the Tigers. We want to remain committed to the Detroit Tigers, ... for the rest of the season. Okay, so you're getting up and leaving. You are not committing to the Tigers long term in terms of past this season. So why on earth should the Tigers be listening to any of your recommendations for what they have to do at this year's deadline? You're right. I feel like it is putting them in a position to where, hey, you're going to have to trade me here because even if I do want to be here, I know I'm not getting paid here.
Yeah, I think it has shifted to that rather than him being all, we want to get paid, we want to stay in Detroit. No, that's all just putting pressure on the Tigers to make the real decision of not doing anything, which I think still is in play, and I certainly hope it's not. You can make the excuse that they got on this hot run and they just so happen to run into the best pitching duo in baseball right now in Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler this weekend. Like, I'm not saying that they're done playing good baseball. They faced two really good starting arms. So they could easily come back after the All-Star break and continue what they did in the leading up weeks to it. But it doesn't change the fact that the smart thing to do is still to deal Skubal away.
989-837-6125. 8-11 in his last 19 games that he's played. That's the Tigers' record. Same record that Framber Valdez has this year in games that he's played. 989-837-6125. Should the Tigers trade Tarek Skubal at this year's deadline? It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid. Show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned and trusted here in Midland, keeping homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today to keep your home strong for years to come. The 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. We talk about the game plan all the time on this show, the execution of it, and that's how Iron Stack approaches IT. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next, so you can focus on your mission instead of your technology. That's Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
We'll get to Warde Manuel at the 10 o'clock hour. Some reporting going on last night that he could be coming to an end, his tenure at Michigan, in the coming days. But we're saving that until the 10 o'clock hour. Let's keep rolling on the Tarek Skubal situation, because 8-11 over his last 19 games that he's played for the Tigers, including the playoffs. I feel like that alone is like timeout. Does the argument really need to go beyond that? He's 8-11 in the last 19 games that he's played, or the Tigers are. They don't always win the games that he's out there. For the better part of the last year, they have lost more games than they have won with Tarek Skubal out there. If that's the case, isn't it fairly obvious? Trade him away if there's no guarantee he can come back for a collection of players, multiple players that aren't on expiring contracts, that can help you win every single day, that don't all have to be prospects at the high A level. Trade Tarek Skubal has never looked more obvious than right now.
Well, and I think it's funny because the people that have been making the argument against this would say, and once again, they're not wrong, it's obvious, well, Tarek Skubal's not the reason they're losing those starts. It's not like Skubal pitches bad in those games. Yeah, I agree. You know why they don't? Because of the lack of offense and run support in the games that he pitches. You know how to improve that run support and to improve that offense? By trading Tarek Skubal and getting guys that eventually can fill into those roles. So it all comes back to that. That's the funny part about this. It'd be different. It's not like we're saying, well, they have to go. They can't ever lose when he starts. They have to be 19-1 in his last 20 starts for me to feel comfortable. No, we're not saying that. But they're below 500. Like, he's the back-to-back Cy Young. They should clearly be winning more games than not when he pitches, and that's not the case.
And if that's not the case, trade him for more talent. It's fairly simple. 989-837-6125. The two playoff games making it a little worse than, like, with the losses he's had in the playoffs.
Yeah, they won the Cleveland one last year, worth noting, when he started.
Correct. It starts to get a little like, oh, man, like, it really isn't a guarantee, especially when you go up against the other good teams and the other team's best pitcher, which, to you make the point, too, it's like, oh, a lot of times you run into the other team's best pitcher. Guess what? That's going to happen in the playoffs as well every time Tarek Skubal starts a game. Yeah. So it's not like that problem. It's not like you've gotten unlucky in that situation. That's something that's going to be the case forever.
And it's been
as long
the case.
As you have them.
Yeah, like that. It always happens to be that way. Esco says, it's insulting for him to say what he said about buying at the deadline. I'm tired of hearing about him. Get him out of here. With Skubal, it's all about me and what I want. I want the Tigers to go all in. Even though I'm leaving at the end of the season, it's delusional.
It is delusional. And for him to go out of his way and ask for that sort of stuff, for his camp to be putting that information out there, I mean, it truly would be irresponsible of Scott Harris to take any of it into consideration. If anything, you hear what he has to say and you think, I'm done with this guy telling us how to do our jobs. I'm done with him playing these like puppet master games and trying to weasel his way into any situation that he wants. Let's let another team go deal with this. Let's get a bunch of players back for him that can help you right now go win every single day and be more consistent on offense. And then guess what? You are still going to have a chance to re-sign Tarek Skubal even if you trade him away. And do
you believe this though? Like I understand the point you're making.
I only
you don't believe this actually could happen though.
Only odds are if you trade him away, you're not getting him back. The max contract gives them a little bit more of an opportunity to retain
Sure,
him.
if they're willing to give that number out. Yeah, because I think the years was always the thing with the Skubal deal, right?
Right, and if the proposal, which it will be tweaked, but if the proposal that got put in by the owners a couple weeks back were to come to fruition, it is whatever team you're currently on, you can sign a 6-year deal. If you're a free agent and you want to go elsewhere, you can sign a max contract of 5 years. So there would be a slight disadvantage for the Tigers compared to the team that he's actually on. However, if Tarek Skubal truly is...
He loves Detroit.
He loves Detroit. If that is true, then guess what? You can offer him the same deal everybody else wants to offer him, and you could bring him back. Now, do I actually think that could happen? No, but it's also putting your money where your mouth is from Tarek Skubal. And at least if you're the Tigers, you can say, hey, we offered him a max contract to come back and he didn't want it. Then you brush your hands and say, I guess that all of that, what he said over the last couple of years about love in Detroit, was total BS then.
Well, and like I do agree with you from that perspective. Like let's test him out then. Let's take his word for it, because at the end of the day, whether he says he wants to be here or not, he's still going to be a free agent after the season. Mm-hmm. So you might as well get assets for him. And you look at what good teams do. I know that we are always frustrated about the constant chatter of, is Detroit a small market team or are they not? Nonetheless, they're not the Yankees, Dodgers, Mets. They're not in that group. We can sit here and complain about it all we want. They're just not in that group. So when you're not in, because like when Aaron Judge was going to be a free agent, for example, there wasn't all this chatter of, well, Aaron Judge, I want to be here, but they got to buy at the deadline. We have to do this or that. No, because we knew the Yankees were going to be willing to pay him. All of that stuff. Anyways, look at what the Milwaukee Brewers have done the last several seasons.
Yep.
Now, I know they haven't won the World Series, so we can sit here and say, like, oh, but it hasn't gotten them over the hump. Sure. They've been the best team in the National League for a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they do this offseason? Their ace, Freddie Peralta, going into the final year of his deal. They're coming off of having the most wins in all of Major League Baseball last year, losing in the divisional series in the playoffs. And they traded Freddie Peralta away to a rival New York Mets team that was supposed to be good. What have they done?
The Mets being good.
They gained several top prospects from the New York Mets, who had a really good farm system at the time before trading them all away, of course. And now the Milwaukee Brewers, outside of our Dodgers here at Dow Diamond, easily have the deepest farm system in baseball.
They did the same thing with Burns, too.
Exactly. And they're 2 games back from the Dodgers. I was just going to say the same thing. Corbin Burns won the Cy Young.
And they traded him.
And they traded him away. And I understand that's a frustrating way to go about how your organization works, but it's also facing reality is what the Milwaukee Brewers do. And we can sit here, they haven't won a World Series. It's worked out for them, man. They've been a really good baseball team all throughout the 2020s.
They wouldn't have won a World Series if they kept those guys.
Right. Good point. Great point.
Here's the thing. This is, in that situation exactly that you just played out, the Milwaukee Brewers trading away their 2 best pitchers over the last 7 years, however long it's been, is exactly why half the owners in the league, well, more than half the owners in the league, other than the people who own the Yankees, Dodgers, and Mets, want a salary cap put in place so they don't have to do these things over and over again and trade away their best players. But the reality of the situation that the Tigers are in right now, in the fact that the collective bargaining agreement goes through December.
They're just in the weird in-between wiggle room area right now.
You have to do what is best for your baseball team, and that's trading away Tarek Skubal. And that doesn't, there are many ways to have a successful baseball franchise. Trading away Tarek Skubal, I've said this so many times, and I'm going to continue to reiterate this point. It's not waving the white flag on the season. It's not giving up. There are many ways to do this, and the Brewers are a perfect example of you can trade away your best players and still be competitive in this league, where you don't have the ability to do that in football or basketball or hockey for that matter. Baseball is completely different in that teams own dozens and dozens and dozens of players in their minor league systems, some of which are ready to compete right away, some of which will take a little bit longer. I think a Tarek Skubal trade package would more so be a collection of players that are ready to contribute sooner rather than later, if not already, for this Tigers team. And then you can continue contending this year. Because guess what? 8-11 in Tarek Skubal starts the last 19 times he's been on the mound. Guys, him being around doesn't lead to wins. Trade him for more players that actually can help the Tigers win every single day. And then you get an arm back in return as well. How is this up for debate? I don't understand it.
I don't think it is. I think most Tigers fans, and our YouTube chat is representing the same way, have realized this. It's just the fact of, are you truly going to trade away that guy who's won the back-to-back Cy Young after this hot streak that you've gotten on? That's really the only harp here.
Well, hot streak's over.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's still an overall good streak that they're on, just because they've lost the last 2,
And the Phillies are a great team.
Yeah, and like I said, you faced Sanchez and Wheeler, the best duo in baseball right now, pitching-wise.
Problem was you couldn't score any runs yesterday. You take Skubal out of the game early once again. He gets frustrated with the entire thing, which...
And that's what Michael said. He says if you're only going to pitch Skubal 5 to 6 innings, you may as well trade him. He hasn't pitched over 6 innings since coming back.
And that doesn't surprise me at all. And I see people blaming Skubal for that.
He's coming off of, elbow surgery.
Forget the elbow surgery. You don't want to.
Okay, that's kind of a hard thing to do.
But like, even if he didn't have an elbow surgery, I wouldn't want to be throwing him 110 pitches when he hasn't signed a long-term contract with this team. Like, you have to be able to protect your
Whereas
assets.
the Phillies, hey, Christopher Sanchez, I know you're pitching in the All-Star game next week, but we're throwing you 105 Saturday night. Sorry, you're not pitching in the All-Star game. It's just different. It's funny how different organizations work, man.
You got to protect his arm. 989-837-6125. Got a text that says, for the same reason as Skubal, we should be trading Casey Mize as well. We'll have just as good of a chance as re-signing him in the offseason.
That one's a lot more realistic, I think, of like trading them and getting them back. Like the Skubal one is just going to be, that would be unbelievable if they pulled that off.
Well, the thing with
the
Casey
Mize one's a lot more realistic.
Is it? Because the thing with the Casey Mize is if there's a max contract, there's a lot of teams that will offer a lot of teams that'll offer Tarek Skubal the max contract, right? And then that's the max it can be, hence max contract. With Casey Mize, obviously nobody's going to offer him that max contract, so everyone might have a different offer from him. Some teams are going to value him way more than others. So getting him back maybe seems a little harder in that sense because there could just be one random team that's like, no, we actually really, really like Casey Mize, and they throw him $5 million more than what the Tigers are willing to pay to get him back. I think the max contract is an advantage for the Tigers in terms of potentially getting Skubal back.
Sure.
What were you about to say?
Well, I was just going to say, or what a realistic option could be is that no one knows how anything is going to happen this offseason, and we sit in this fluky area, and Casey Mize sits in free agency until February. And it's like, oh, I guess we're just bringing him back on a one-year deal because no one knows what the hell is going to happen.
Well, my question is, so this CBA
free agency
technically
would get
runs
frozen if like there was no agreement made.
But it doesn't technically end until December. So can you sign contracts the day the season ends? Because that's typically how free agency works, right? The day the World Series is over, you can just start signing.
There is that is when the off season begins. There is a period where free agency begins.
When does?
Because you have to go through like the coach contracts, and there's like a week or so window after the season ending where like it's all the arbitration stuff going down.
5 days after the World Series ends.
Yeah.
So are players going to be able to sign contracts in November?
That's a great question.
I have no idea. I don't know. Because if I'm Tarek Skubal, like I am sprinting to try to get a contract done in the first month of free agency. But why would a team want to do that if they know, oh, if we just wait this thing out, like the most he can get is this much. So we're just going to wait this thing out. I don't know. There's
so much
too many
question
unknowns.
marks right now. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
They seem so far away from any sort of agreement too, where there's so much they disagree upon.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not like this is just one thing. You're right. It's there's so many different things, and they're all complete opposites from what each side wants.
Yeah, which really makes me think next April we're not going to have baseball.
We better hope one of the basketball teams is good, man.
I would put it at like even odds that there's baseball in April.
Like at least by opening day next year, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we didn't have opening day next year.
I'm with you.
Unfortunately, 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. We'll get to Warde Manuel at 10 o'clock. This is the Ben and Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Locally owned and proudly family operated. That's Ace Hardware, downtown Midland. They're your go-to spot as we gear up for the midst of summer. Stop in on East Main Street in the heart of downtown Midland. That's Ace Hardware, helping you get ready for the season ahead while supporting your community. Hey, it is also officially golf season, Kyle. Might be a little warm to play this
officially?
week. It's we're in the prime golf season, except for this Tuesday when it's supposed to be like 109 degrees outside and we get a real-life version of hell in mid-Michigan. Any other day besides that, yeah, golfing is the way to go. And if you're like me, you're looking for new places to play, golfers look no further. Apple Mountain in Freeland, where every round feels like a side of scenic perfection. Championship-level course, beautifully maintained and just the right mix of challenge and fun. When you've wrapped up 18, head to the Apple Mountain Restaurant, the perfect place for casual elegance and spectacular views. Whether you're playing for score or just soaking up the atmosphere, Apple Mountain is your place to unwind, recharge, and enjoy the game. Apple Mountain in Freeland, minutes away, but miles from ordinary.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, let's make sure we did not forget anything that happened over the weekend. Again, Warde Manuel at 10 o'clock. Kyle Sandel, Ben Bosscher here with you. Kyle Sandel, fill us in with the news.
The Mitts Morning Catch.
You're right, Ben. There was a lot that happened this weekend sports-wise, despite it being, is this like the deadest week of the year?
For sure. There's no football. There's no baseball.
At least like during the week, yeah. Because obviously baseball returned this weekend. We have the Open Championship this weekend in golf, so at least that's going on.
You know, if golf was smart, they'd be like, no, we're actually starting this tournament Monday.
If they were smart, I mean, like, people are going to watch this either way. I get
know,
what
but
you're
think
saying.
about the advantage that you'd have if the championship was like Thursday, basically. There's nothing else
But it's
to
during
watch.
the day. Like, people are still working this week.
I mean, so are the World Cup games. People will find a way to watch them.
That's a good point. We're going to talk about World Cup, too. First off, though, let's look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. This is some pretty cool news. John sending me this morning. Obviously, the MLB draft happening this weekend. A couple of local people in the Great Lakes Bay region getting drafted in the MLB draft. Pretty cool. Former Northwood pitcher Dom Morrow ended up pitching at Cincinnati after Northwood, selected by the Athletics in round 10 of the MLB draft Saturday. And then, go ahead.
I was going to say, if he was playing for Cincinnati, he would have been playing for Coach Bishop,
You're
who
right.
was the former coach at
I
CMU.
didn't even think about that. A little double connection there.
Who was by far my favorite coach to work with while I was at CMU. I don't know about you, but he was awesome for student media.
I loved Mike Golick, the volleyball coach, who is now the head coach for the Grand Rapids volleyball team.
Yep.
The Grand Rapids Rise?
Yes.
Is that it? Yeah, so shout out to both of them. Anyways, and then the other local pitcher drafted in the MLB draft was a Frankenmuth High School alum. Drew Titsworth was drafted in the 11th round by the Philadelphia Phillies. So very cool stuff with a couple guys in the Great Lakes Bay region hearing their names called in the MLB draft.
Say the second guy's name again.
Come on, man.
I didn't hear you.
Grow up, man.
I did hear you.
Drew Titsworth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw the big smirk on your face. I really tried to ignore it. Here was the full Tarek Skubal quote after being pulled from the sixth inning, or at the beginning of the sixth inning yesterday. He said, quote, "I just thought I had more in the tank. I think I was still in control of what was going on. I'm not here to create a story about any of it. I've always respected AJ's decisions on what he's trying to do." Yeah, I think the whole, like, sixth inning thing is getting blown out of proportion. He was 93 pitches in and just had a 10-pitch battle that he lost. Like, that is kind of like time you would pull a guy from a game.
Well, let's think of it this way too, Kyle. Like this, of course, this isn't a Hinch thing. If Skubal was signed to a long-term deal right now, do you think he gets a little bit more say in like, no, I want to be out here. Let me finish this inning. I think there is just more wiggle room if you're committed to this team long-term. And until you are, you don't have any say in how long you're out there, and we need to protect your arm. Like, that's the way I've always thought about it.
Yeah, and like I do agree with you there. I also think it's fair that take all of the contract nonsense out of it. He still is pretty shortly removed from elbow surgery in a new type of procedure.
Yeah,
It
that
just
we know
feels-
nothing about.
And in the Tigers' mind, they're like, we'd want to preserve him for a playoff run. You know, like if all the contract stuff was out of it. So it's still like, I think it is still the proper thing to do. I'm not going to harp on AJ Hinch for any of that. Michael says we should do an ESPY Awards preview and prediction show this week. The ESPYs are this week? I've never gotten into the ESPYs, ever.
I used to think it was funny. Now I think it's like,
thought the ESPYs was funny?
like way back in the day. Like
Oh,
there
the
was
dude
that
from
year
SNL
Drake-
is hosting it.
The dude from SNL.
Marcelo Hernandez.
See, like the year Drake hosted it, I thought it was really funny. But I think it's just overproduced now. I think most
we'll have to
television
dive
is
into it a little bit.
overproduced.
Yeah, it is. It's on Wednesday night, so we've got a couple days to keep looking at that. The rest of the Tigers MLB draft, let's take a look at some of those guys that were drafted by the Tigers. You mentioned it. Cameron Fluke, the first-round pick out of Coastal Carolina, 21-year-old right-handed pitcher. They also drafted a shortstop out of Kansas, Tyson LeBlanc, another college player drafted there. And then their third competitive balance round B picks, this would be technically like a round 2 pick, was another pitcher, Evan Dempsey, a right-hander out of Florida Gulf Coast, another college athletes. So their first 3 picks of this draft, all college players, Ben.
Yeah, they're getting used to it because there might be sooner rather than later that you can't take a high schooler in the draft, which is another
so
thing
stupid,
that they are going to be debating at the collective bargaining agreement between the owners and the players.
So
the
ridiculous.
Owners don't want high school players to be able to draft, which basically means we don't want to pay players to develop at that young of an age, so let's send them to college. They'll develop them for free, which in my mind would probably get rid of low A baseball.
At least rookie ball, probably.
Rookie ball, yeah. Or is it rookie ball we'll keep for the international guys?
Right.
And then you're going right to high A, which would be a pretty big
that
jump.
I don't know, which that would be unfortunate. Hopefully, I mean, we're going to find out more about this, but that'd be something that I'd be really anti against. I think most people would as well. So
the only way you make the case for it is by saying if you're a huge college baseball fan. You're like, well, now all the best players have to go to college, and it's going to make this sport something that we've never seen before.
That's fair. Like, yeah, it's probably the most elevated the sport will ever be.
Without a doubt.
But I don't know many people that are like huge college baseball fans, right?
No, but they might become them if every year there's just like, but like think about it like this. In college basketball, we know who the best players are going in, and then by the time the year's done, it's like, oh man, that's like there they go. The one and dones. We're going to have all the best baseball prospects at college for 2 years was the proposal, which maybe the owners just proposed that so that they could get it negotiated to 1 year. But I don't know. I think it might make for some, like, would you watch a minor league baseball championship outside of here, the Midwest League with the Loons? No. It's not something you're going to seek, but you might actually go seek the College World Series.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people will at least pay attention to the College World Series. So, yeah, I get that. That's a good point. You are fair with that. Rock Chowalski was the first overall pick for the White Sox over the weekend, and he was a college player, so no high school action there. We'll save the McGregor stuff and all of the other news for World Cup news, all that other stuff for later.
We may as well get into the McGregor thing when we come back.
Okay.
Let's do that. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Ward Manuel at 10 o'clock. Not him coming on as a guest. That would be crazy. But I'll give you my thoughts on Ward Manuel and this entire situation, because I think it's getting blown out of proportion a little bit. People are making it seem like as if he is done. It could be true. I don't think it's a guarantee yet. 989-837-6125. If you're looking for a great meal and hometown hospitality, stop by A&W in Midland, where you'll find delicious burgers, famous root beer made fresh daily, crispy fries, and family-friendly service that keeps customers coming back. Whether you're grabbing lunch, dinner, or a sweet treat, A&W is proud to be serving the Great Lakes Bay region. And by the way, if you're looking for not food, but financial advice that actually makes sense, meet Doug Cellini of Kingsview Partners right here in Midland. Former teacher and coach. Doug breaks down all the complicated stuff, talking about, the finances behind it, and make it understandable for people like Kyle and I. He helps families, professionals build clear game plans for their money so you can move forward with confidence and not confusion. That's Doug Cellini, Kingsview Partners, right here in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. In building repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, conspiracy Ben and Kyle are coming out. I think this is not, I'm not the first person to say this, obviously. I think Conor McGregor was hurt going into that fight. I have no idea whether or not it was a week before, a day before, 5 minutes before, an hour before, no idea. But as he was coming out, and he's doing his slow walk, he takes his shoe off, he slips. In that moment, I was like, oh, he can't even balance upright. Gets into the ring and just kind of stands there, walks back and forth gracefully. Whereas like old McGregor was like running around like a psychopath every time he stepped into the octagon, doing cartwheels with no hands. You even saw Holloway running around like jumping off the cage. McGregor just got in there and stood. And I told, I was watching it with Carlos. I told Carlos, I was like, he looks stiff. Why is he not? He doesn't look loose at all. And then obviously he comes out, throws this spinning leg kick. I don't know the technical terminology to any of it. And lands on his knee, and it gives out right away. 3 seconds into the fight is over. They never actually fought. My thing is, if I'm Conor McGregor, and I know, like, oh, man, my knee is not 100%, what's better? You going in and fighting with a hurt knee for 5 rounds and basically playing defense and not really utilizing it and protecting yourself and, seeing what you can do, trying to make the best of the situation, and then you lose the fight because you're not 100% and everyone clowns you for it and saying you never should have came back. Then you put out a PR release. It's like, yeah, I was hurt coming into this, and no one believes you. Or are you just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going out swinging right away. I'm trying to make something happen because I know I can't win this fight. So I'm going to go try to get a knockout. And if I happen to blow my knee out, then so be it. Then I actually have like this is what happened. And it was very unfortunate. This almost like helped McGregor in a lot of ways if he was hurt before, because one thing that was off the table was calling off the fight because then nobody gets paid, and Dana White never lets Conor McGregor fight again. So that's my take on all.
I mean, a fight didn't happen. Like, let's get that clear.
Dana White made it very clear to Holloway in the post-game presser. He was like, I mean, we all know that fight didn't really happen.
Like, I think you say what option is better. Whatever option other than what actually happened is better. Like, that was worst case scenario, what went down. A fight not even occurring. A fight not even happening. It was worst case scenario for literally everyone involved. And maybe for Conor McGregor, I guess it wasn't the worst. I don't know. I don't think people are talking up Conor McGregor right now.
Is
like,
this actually worse, though? Like,
I think it's worse. It's worse for everyone. It's not good for Max Holloway. It's not good for the UFC. It's, of course, not good for Conor McGregor. It's not good for anyone that paid to be there. Everything involved, it is bad.
And I feel like at that, like, it's easy to say that. And I'm not saying you're necessarily wrong, but just like for 1 second, take a step back. If this was just a terrible, terrible fight where McGregor clearly was washed and it was like, well, that was just a waste of my entire night. That fight sucked. Is that actually worse than what happened? Because at least look at this. We're talking about this still Monday.
Yeah.
It was the only thing
we
that
have
got
a
talked
winner
about.
of a fight, though. Like Max Holloway, if anyone has the right to be mad about what happened Saturday night, it's Max Holloway.
Correct.
Not Dana, not Conor McGregor. Holloway was going to win the fight if there was a fight that occurred.
For sure.
He would have won. And now he can't even say that I beat McGregor because he didn't. Like, sure, technically he did, but he doesn't even get the satisfaction of doing that. This is the first time he fought at welterweight weight. He had to put on weight to get to this level to fight McGregor all for nothing.
They flashed a graphic. He was the 20th fighter to ever win a fight in 3 different weight classes. I was like, what? They didn't fight. This shouldn't count. They didn't fight. He was a really good sport about it during the match, though. Like looking at the official, being like, "Dude, this guy's he can't stand."
Yeah, this is obvious.
What do you want? Do you want me to knock him out right now? Because I don't feel like I should.
I'll say I don't think he came into the fight injured, McGregor. I think that he just came into the fight clearly not ready to fight. Like all of this talk that got talked up, like, oh, McGregor, he's in great shape, like he's ready to go. He's like he's been putting in the work. No, he hasn't, man. Like, look at what happened.
I think even if he was
and
putting
also,
in the work,
his knee blew up. Like, you could see it. Like, that's
Correct.
the only reason why I think he didn't come in already with a damaged ACL. Because, like, you could see it when it happened.
I think he may have been putting in the work rightfully so. I think he could have been mentally ready, but all the partying that he has done since he's been out of the UFC, he's more than 37 years old, man. Like, the partying and stuff, you can detox and get right mentally, and clearly I think McGregor has done that. But all the partying and drugs and drinking, like, dude, that ages your body, and there's no going backwards in terms of that sort of stuff. So
the Mohawk too, not a fan.
Didn't love the Mohawk.
Didn't love the Mohawk.
I didn't love any of it.
It's not a great look. Yeah, it like really disappointing. And I said this to you, like one of the sadder ways that a superstar of a sport has gone out.
Yeah, I don't think you can put him on another fight. If you're Dana White, you can't realistically market him as a guy who can headline a pay-per-view. Or I guess there's no more pay-per-views, but headline a card the rest of the way. Can't happen because no one's going to take it seriously the next time. I was sad. I know there's not a lot of McGregor people out there, or there's just as many people that hate him, that love him. I certainly wanted him to win. All right, when we come back, Michigan.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, we've been teasing it long enough. Let's get into Warde Manuel. There was some reports going around yesterday that he's done. He's not going to be the AD anymore. And then further sources confirmed. Well, here's what's going on. The Board of Regents. The Board of Regents is having a discussion whether or not Warde Manuel should be the athletic director this week at some point. Now, Michigan as a university hired a private investigating firm to go do a further research and do a further investigation into the way the athletic department is being run over the last few years, just with everything that has transpired, specifically regarding the Sharon Moore scandal. So you know it's bad if Michigan's hiring a private investigation firm to investigate themselves because they're so caught off guard as to how this thing is being run. And if that's the case, yeah, it's not going to be all that surprising. And by the way, all that information is supposed to come out on Thursday. So if that is part of it, Warde Manuel being let go or forced to retire of some sort, it's not all that surprising. Here's where I step in my opinion. I'm not a Michigan fan, so I don't care one way or another if he is or is not the athletic director. As a radio host, gives us stories. So
he's given us plenty, man.
He's given us plenty of content to talk
over
about.
There, that guy.
Correct. But if I was a Michigan fan, I would be pretty happy if Michigan ended up retaining him. If I'm a Michigan fan, I understand that Warde Manuel has a win at all costs mentality. Literally every single cost. He'll hide scandals. He'll hide stories. Whatever, he'll turn a blind eye. Whatever you've got to do, go win, and Warde Manuel will find a way to protect you. If I'm a Michigan fan, I'm thinking, well, I'm already the bad guy anyway. Whether or not Warde Manuel is or is not our athletic director, I know that Michigan, the school I root for, is the most hated university in this country. One way or another, they have a cheating reputation, whether Warde Manuel is there or not. And I've been adamant about this since the day I stepped into this room. I've thought this since I was just a kid watching. It is way more fun to be the villain. It's so much more enjoyable as a sports fan to be the villain. You don't want to be a Cinderella team. Cinderellas lose at some point. Cinderellas never make it all the way. You want to be the villain because usually it's the villains that are on top. It's the villains that are winning. That's way more fun. And I know Michigan fans, in 2023, when you had to be the villain, guess what? That championship was even sweeter. The taste of victory was the best thing you ever tasted because you were the bad guys, you were the villains, and you still were able to get out on top. People are going to think you're the villains regardless of whether or not Warde Manuel's there or not. So I'd rather have a guy who, shady for sure, but if all I care about is Michigan winning, then yeah, I probably just want to keep him around. Now, again, I don't care whether or not they win or lose, or whether or not they keep him or retain him. In terms of morals and doing the right thing, obviously the best thing to do is to get rid of Warde Manuel. That goes without saying. He's been at the top of so many different scandals. Obviously, the best thing to do is to get rid of Warde Manuel if we're talking about morals and all of that. But if to you, winning is the number one thing at all costs, you don't care about the reputation of the university, which should be most Michigan fans, and that's not specific to Michigan because I think Michigan State would cash in all their shady stuff for some championships as well. That's just the way that it goes in college athletics. And by the way, pretty much every school is shady. You'd probably rather just keep him. So if I was defending Warde Manuel and making the case and playing his defendant, I would say, well, he hired Dusty May and tried to make him the highest paid coach in college basketball, and he never signed his contract. Jim Harbaugh forced him to hire Sharon Moore, and I never should have trusted Jim Harbaugh. So, there's some accountability there, but hey, Jim Harbaugh, of all people, told me I need to hire Sharon Moore. Not a whole lot you can say against it. If I'm defending Warde Manuel, I'm saying, well, yeah, I did try to cover up the Connor Stallion story and the Sharon Moore scandal. I did try to cover it up because I didn't want to take away a season from the student athletes. That's what I would be saying if I'm making the case as to why he should remain employed at UofM. And the last thing that obviously went poorly that I can step in here and try to defend him is, hey, man, Juwan Howard went to the Elite Eight in his very first tournament and won the Big Ten regular season in the exact same year. And then I fired him the second things got ugly and hired Dusty May. So if I was making the case as to why I think Warde Manuel should stay employed at U of M, it's for all of those reasons. It's honestly a little easier to step in and defend him more so than you would think. With all the things that have gone just crazy over the last decade since he's been employed as the athletic director, there's a few things that I do think were completely out of his control. The first of which was Jim Harbaugh leaving and the entire Connor Stallion situation. I don't know why on earth Warde Manuel would know about what's going on. Jim Harbaugh doesn't even know. Obviously, I think Jim Harbaugh knew a little bit of what was going on. But if Warde Manuel doesn't know what's going on, which there's no real reason to think that he would, then he's kind of caught with his hands tied behind his back in that situation. The Juwan hire, was it really a failure? Obviously, it ended so ugly, but there was some success with the Juwan Howard era at the end of the day early on. And then he hired Dusty May. So it's like, how mad can you really get at him for the basketball hires in general? And you lost, both coaches after winning national championships. Yeah, because they both went to the pro level. You hired such great coaches that they got hired at the pro level. The most indefensible thing is covering up and not, bringing to the public eye or acting upon the Shiver situation with Sharon Moore throughout the season if you really didn't know about it, which by all accounts they did know about it and they hit it up. And again, if I was forced to play defendant for him, I didn't want to take away from the season and the student athletes that were out there. This was obviously going to come out after the year. We were going to handle it then, but we didn't want this to be a distraction for the football players because we thought that would have been taking away from their season. I think he's actually a pretty good athletic director. If winning is your number one priority, despite all of the craziness and controversy that has taken place over the last decade. Realistically, if we're talking morals, he should be fired. And there's one reporter, Justin Spiro, who's one of the biggest losers on the entire face of the planet.
Reporter, we're calling him, huh?
What would you call him?
I can't say it.
Michigan State guy, by the way.
Twitter personality?
Scumbag.
Okay.
He is saying that Warde Manuel is completely out, and he was the first person to be on that. He's already been fired. From my understanding, it's the Board of Regents are going to have a conversation regarding whether or not he should be the athletic director this week as they collect information from the private investigation firm that looked into the athletic department and the way it's being ran. And if they think it's being ran in a way where people are put in unsafe situations, yeah, of course he should be fired. But if they don't find that stuff and they think all these individual things that have happened to Michigan, it's like, yeah, this is just obviously not a good look for Warde Manuel, but all the people are theoretically gone that were involved with the controversies. Sharon Moore staff completely gone. Obviously the Juwan Howard stuff completely gone. If they come out of this thing Warde Manuel has just been dealt a really bad hand for multiple years in a row, I don't think they should fire him. I think he's pretty good at finding coaches in the sports that matter.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there. First off, I don't think it's very coincidental that this is happening post Dusty May leaving. Right? It felt like the Dusty May hire was another thing. And you're right in the fact that, yeah, he's made some really good hires. The Dusty May hire is the best one of all. And it was like the string that was still keeping you attached to Warde Manuel. It's like, oh, man, but he hired the guy that won us a national championship in basketball in 2 years. The Sharon Moore situation, the Connor Stallion situation, all that, in the Matt Weiss situation. There's plenty more things you can get into with things that have happened in the Warde Manuel saga at Michigan. And to use the word morals with Michigan is just, it is hilarious. It is funny. Michigan fans should not care about any of that, man. The only ones that should care about the respect and the moral of the university, what, is firing Warde Manuel just going to reset all of that?
That's what I'm saying.
People still have their opinions on the university and their athletic program, the way that it's been run, no matter what. It's not going to erase Connor Stallions. It's not going to erase what happened with Sharon Moore. It's not going to erase the other handful of things that have happened when Warde Manuel's there. No, all it does is means you have to hire a new AD, and they have to come in and deal with all of that nonsense. And their introductory press conference is going to suck because they're going to be asked all of these questions about everything that happened at Michigan when that person wasn't there. So I'm with you in the fact that if I'm a Michigan fan, I would be very hard-pressed to sit here and be like, yeah, they should get rid of Warde Manuel, man. They should get rid of him. Why? Why should they get rid of him?
No, you think
because he
don't
cares
you think
about
the opposite?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I would not want to take that approach because, like, I'm agreeing with you.
Yes,
because you're right in the fact that Warde Manuel cares about winning the most, and most Michigan fans don't care about the morals of the university.
Most college fans in general,
85% of them didn't go there. Like, you're just a fan of the sports of that take place at the university, and that's completely fine. So the morals and all that stuff doesn't matter to you. What matters is winning. And that has been accomplished under Warde Manuel at Michigan. And so whether or not you believe it's right or wrong, it clearly doesn't matter because it's all still going to exist whether Warde Manuel is the AD or not. All of this controversy of, well, this was handled right, this was handled poorly, blah, 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 blah.
What's the most fireable thing that he's done? Like, what is the number one thing? It's like, if you're building, obviously I just play defense to all of that he's done. If you're anti-Warde Manuel being employed, what's the number one thing you go to, like, this is why he should be fired?
So many options. I mean, the Sharon Moore stuff being pushed to the offseason, being pushed to when the season was over is crazy. Now, obviously, it went down. Like, the altercations that happened post that coming out could not have been that could not have been controlled by Warde Manuel.
Right.
Like, so
this situation
I'm not
ugly.
letting him off the hook. I'm not letting him off the hook for that. The Connor Stallions thing is probably like the biggest one because it was and I don't know how much he knew about it, but the way it was handled was just like what are we talking about here? This is blatant cheating in football.
But
like,
what should Warde Manuel have done differently in that situation
right,
when the Big Ten got rid of Connor Stallions immediately and their head coach got suspended in the middle of the season, and Warde Manuel was just like, okay,
yeah, let's just hire the guy that was a part of all of it, right?
In Sharon Moore,
correct?
Well, yeah, and that's where you come in and you're just like, Jim Harbaugh made me hire him. It's like,
okay,
I don't know. Jim Harbaugh made me hire him.
Got banned from the sport.
I know.
Why do I got to listen to him?
I know.
Just because he went to Michigan, I got to listen to him?
It's just a tough situation for the coach leaving to be like, this is the guy. I just won a national championship. I know exactly what it takes to win one. I think Sharon Moore can be the guy. It's kind of tough to say no to that if you're Warde Manuel. It just is.
Sure.
And as for the Sharon Moore stuff, like, you're totally right in the fact, like, with the Stallion stuff, I don't really know what Warde Manuel was supposed to do differently. You know? If we're cheating here.
Sure, and we're never going to know how much, like, was known by Warde Manuel as well.
I would assume very little.
I would like to assume, but based off of the history of things that have gone down, you know, like, I don't know.
And as for the Sharon Moore stuff, like, yes, obviously the way it went down was pretty horrific and drastic and ruined a lot of people's lives. There's no way Warde Manuel could have known that this was going to happen.
Sure.
If this would have just been like, yeah, Sharon Moore got fired, he was sleeping with a staffer, it got really ugly, that would have been it, and maybe Sharon Moore could have coached again one day. Never a head coach, but, like, someone would have hired him to be a head coach. Sharon Moore's the one that ruined his life after he's got fired by, you know, running around Ann Arbor with a knife and showing up to people's apartments and standing outside of a church with a knife threatening to hurt himself. Like, that's not on Warde Manuel. Sorry, it's just not. So, like, I think there's actually a decent amount of evidence to come in and defend Warde Manuel.
Yeah, I don't know about defending him because at the end of the day, like, and I think the actual ugliest thing was probably the Matt Weiss, the former quarterbacks coach, I think was the offensive coordinator for Michigan football as well.
Who they fired immediately upon finding this.
But, like, but the thing, well, of course they did. Everybody would do that. Like, we're giving him credit for firing a guy that was the biggest creepo ever and was literally went to jail for this.
But if
we're
find
giving
out
him credit
someone,
for that?
No, but how can you know someone's that's not something you ask during interviews. Hey, do you want to be the OC here?
Here's what I'm saying.
Question number one, are you a creep?
There's an environment when there are multiple instances of things like this going down in any organization. It doesn't have to be just sports, in anything. There is an environment that is created from the top down that for some reason it is viewed as I can get away with this here. I can do this here. And I understand, like, Warde Manuel can't control Connor Stallions being the most psychotic person ever that came up with this immense cheating way, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah,
he
genius.
Can't control Sharon Moore and him having whatever type of relationship he had with a staffer that went violent. He can't control the Matt Weiss stuff, all of that. But at the end of the day, it is things that occurred under his leadership, correct? And there is some sort of environment put in place that weird people and people that are, a little bit wiredy up there are not going to accept the fact that I can't do this here. No, I can get away with this. I think I can get away with this here.
So here's where this private investigation comes in. If the private investigating firm that Michigan hired, the Board of Regents hired, to investigate the athletic department, if they come out of this thinking, yeah, all those people were just happen to be really weird creeps or weirdos, and this has nothing to do with the way the department is being run.
Totally could happen.
Do you think he should still be fired then?
I mean, do I think, or
if a private investigating firm comes in and says, we don't really think this guy did anything wrong, there just happened to be a bunch of bad apples over the last 10 years, and all of which are gone.
That were all hired in parts by Warde Manuel.
Sure, Warde Manuel's not really in charge of hiring the staffers.
Right, but he's in charge of hiring the guy who hires the staffers.
Correct. But Weiss was under Jim Harbaugh, right?
Yes.
He didn't hire Jim Harbaugh.
You're right. You're right in the fact that, if it's not going to change anything. So I guess no. I do agree that the crowd that says they should just move out of the Warde Manuel era now that Dusty May is gone, I don't disagree with that. I think just trying to move past this all with the guy who's been in charge of everything is the right thing to do. But it's not going to change how everyone thinks of Michigan just because there's a new athletic director, right?
Correct. And that is why I would say just keep him, because he's pretty good at hiring people.
Do we have to wait to see what happens with Kyle Whittingham?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
But imagine there's hey, we're going to give him 2 years, and then Warde, if he's not very good, you're gone.
But all signs point to Kyle Whittingham's one of the more qualified guys that possibly could have been hired for Michigan.
Look, man, ever since this NIL era it's not a shock or anything, but ever since the NIL era has started, Michigan has done pretty good for themselves.
Yeah.
The athletic director has to get some sort of credit for that. I mean, probably not a ton, but...
So here's where I ask the audience, and I'm talking specifically to the Michigan fans here. Do you want Warde Manuel still here? Do you want him and his reputation to be at Michigan? Because I just told you all the reasons that maybe none of this, not none of it, but there could very well be an investigation that takes place that, again, we're getting the results as to Thursday, and there may very well be an outcome where it's just yeah, we don't think Warde Manuel did all that much wrong. We don't think he created a negative atmosphere. We don't think that he's the reason that all this stuff below him is happening. It just happened to be a couple really rotten people in this org, and now they're all gone. We think it's healthy now because it was mostly just football. And as you know, working in...
Football has been moved past now, yeah.
Yes, and also, as you know, as to any D1 university, football just kind of moves at their own pace.
They do their own thing.
Yeah.
Correct.
In their own building most of the time, without any sort of people really telling you what you can and can't do. Because most of the time, the head coach is getting paid more than the athletic director. So yeah, there is a sense that the head coach is allowed to get away with whatever he wants because he gets paid more. And obviously, Sharon Moore, he let that get to his head.
They should just make Larry Ellison's wife the new athletic director.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Aired Insurance. They understand not everyone's insurance needs are the exact same. They're about putting you in better insurance position. Whether it's your home, auto, life, or business coverage, they make sure your protection actually fits your life. If you're looking for a new team that takes the guesswork out of insurance, this is it. Be sure to go follow Aired Insurance Group on social media to stay connected and see how they're helping people every single day. Hey, by the way, if you're new to the Great Lakes Bay region, looking for something fun to do right here in mid-Michigan, Go Great Lakes has you covered. From festivals and live music, outdoor adventures, great food, and family-friendly events, GoGreatLakesBay.org is your one-stop guide for the Great Lakes Bay region. Whether it's a weekend plan or last-minute idea, get out, explore local, and go Great Lakes.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
So, do Michigan fans want Warde Manuel gone? I'm just throwing my fishing line out because I have no idea if Michigan fans truly want him gone. So I'm gauging the temperature in the room on this one. If I'm a Michigan fan, which I'm not, I'm making the case as to why he should stay. As a radio host, I think he should stay because he creates a lot of content for us. Keeping him, I think, would be good for both Michigan fans and us as people who host a sports show in this state. So morals, they probably tell you to move on from Warde Manuel. 989-837-6125. Let's see what the text line has to say. Stan says, keep him. He didn't do anything wrong and was always on top of things. And then he sent in all of the people that he's hired. Gene says, I think he should stay now until 2032. I think that's when his contract ends. Otherwise, somewhat of an arbitrary number. Jim says, Warde Manuel needs to go. They've known about this report for a while. They're being, he knew what was going on and tried desperately to hide it. Yeah, talking about the Sharon Moore thing. I struggle with this one, too, because if that happens in the middle of the season, Michigan State saw the effects of that when the Mel Tucker thing came out and he got fired mid-season. So, is it really better to move on from someone in the middle of the season if you know they're getting canned at the end of the year? Or do you fire them in the middle of the season as soon as you find out that things went poorly and it just basically disrupt the entire season and it ruined an entire year for all the students?
That's what I think it is about, though. I think it's less about the fact of the impact on the football team. It's just more of the fact that they knew and waited. And I'm not saying that, like, oh, Michigan State handled the Mel Tucker situation so perfectly. You know, like, I'm certainly not saying that. But
yeah, because when your head coach does something crappy, like both Mel Tucker and Sharon Moore did, there's no winning. Like, there's no right way to handle things. It's going to ruin – it's either ruining the kid's season or you're hiding something. Like,
and let's just
you
be
go
straight
ahead
up,
and pick
man.
you're wrong.
Here's the difference. That Michigan State team got off to a really bad start. Michigan had, like, some sort of expectation coming into last year. Like, it just is how it is.
Weren't they 2-0?
If Michigan State was great.
Michigan State, weren't they 2-0 when Mel Tucker got fired against two crappy teams? But
yeah, but, like, that team wasn't – it was coming after the year after, they were really good with Kenneth Walker. Like, they weren't going to be a good team that year. They were going to be fine.
I mean, sure, they were 2-0, and then they, like, didn't win another game.
There's different kind of expectation, I guess, comparing Michigan to Michigan State. Especially those two seasons. And so that's just the point I make. It's just like, at the end of the day, as crappy as it is, but in college sports, especially in football, the number one thing is success of the football team. And everything else comes after. And that's just kind of a prime example of that.
989-837-6125. Someone said at minimum keep them away from all you can eat buffets.
Oof.
Crazy.
Oh, come on. I know a confirmed Michigan fan in our YouTube chat, Michael. He says, I think it's time to move on. The Michigan brand will always attract top coaches. Not sure the AD really has much to do except finding the money.
What about the basketball coach, though? Is that, like, that was a good hire. And by the way, like,
it was.
The Juwan thing, I struggle with the Juwan thing because obviously it went poorly, and the first time it got ugly, they fired him. But, like, he had success. To say that it wasn't a successful era, I think is a little like just turning an eye to the success that they had, where he won a Big Ten regular season championship and went to an Elite Eight the second year he was there, the first tournament he was part of. Like, that can't just be totally forgotten about. As ugly as it did get towards the very end when he was slapping his own son.
But I'm not going to say that it was like a successful I don't think it was successful. I mean, we talk about that one Michigan team that had 2 lottery picks and an All-American on it missed the tournament. Like, that's ridiculous.
Orlando said, knowing that school, they will all they will see is the championships, and they will ignore the dumpster fire. Is he the cause of the dumpster fire, though? That's the question that the investigation firm is going to have to let us know about.
And I don't know if it's something that, like, the case against him is more of a, hey, if one of the first things would have been handled differently, does it cause a chain reaction where some of this other stuff doesn't happen? You know, was it too far gone for Warde Manuel's decision making at Michigan, where everything was just kind of going to get pushed off, and the next thing that came out was going to be handled in the same exact way? It's tough to tell.
989-837-6125. We'll work in some NFL when we come back, and then we'll circle back to the Detroit Tigers to lead off the 11 o'clock hour. I will be able to convince you in 90 seconds that Tarek Skubal, trading him, is the right thing to do. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Specialty Infusion Center. It's coming to Midland, opening mid-July. Hey, that's just about now. Their experienced team provides personalized infusion care in private, comfortable suites with insurance verification, referral support, and even home infusion options when appropriate. They're accepting new patients and referrals right now. Just call 989-214-4998 or visit specialtyinfusioncenter.com to learn more.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Modern Realty's Matt Smith. Matt, what would you say is the most important part of selling or buying right now for folks?
The homes that are moving the best for the most amount of money are prepared well and priced right. So the most important thing you can do is make sure that you talk to an experienced agent that can help you get your home ready and help you analyze the data to nail the sales price.
Modern Realty's Matt Smith.
I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Edward Jones is a proud supporter of high school sports in the Great Lakes.
And Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, Kyle, let's work in a little bit of football. I can't wait for this. Had the idea yesterday. Let's make it come to fruition today. It's our trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
I don't know if you're a big Madden guy. I once upon a time was a giant Madden guy, would spend my nights in college instead of doing homework, just grinding Madden. Big mutt guy, draft champs, used to do it all. One year I even had a share account with one of my friends, so one of us could always be grinding challenges. It became a problem for a little bit. I want you to name the 16 players in Madden this year that having 97 or higher rating.
16, wow.
Have you seen this too in 2K in Madden? It's the same thing. There's like
They're inflated, like all the ratings are inflated.
Everybody's inflated. Now there's like, I don't know what the exact stat was, but in 2K, there was like 15, 20 different players that are a 90 rating or higher. 10 years ago, there was like 3.
And there never used to be 99s either. Like there was like Curry was a 99 in like 16. It was the first time there was a 99 overall in the game in forever.
It was since Shaq.
Yeah.
And I remember Curry that year, man.
He broke the game.
It was broken.
Yeah, there was a limitless range introduced. Yeah, I've always been a 2K guy over a Madden guy. I always would buy Madden, and I would just casually play it, but the last several years I have not. Last year I did not play it at all. I'm not going to get it this year. I'll probably get the new college football game. I think it came out already, so I should probably get that soon. But
So let's start here. Who are the 99 club?
how many
folks?
do we got?
I think there's always 4 players in the 99 club.
This is the only thing that I did see. This was somebody texted this to me, so this is the only reason that I did see this. Jamar Chase is a 99, right?
Correct, and I think that's rightfully so. He's led the league in
a 99 though.
how about this? Last 2 years, he leads the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
I just think if you asked a bunch of people, like, hey, there's one 99 overall wide receiver in the game this year, who is it? I don't think people would say Chase. I think Chase is better than, like, the other guys.
Who would it be then?
Well, just like JSN just won Offensive Player of the Year. Like, that's how it's kind of based off of.
But JSN,
and Puka,
the year
everyone kind of believed that Puka was the best guy in the league last year, too, you know?
I know, but Madden, more than anything else, more than any of the other games, is a legacy. Like,
True.
You have to be
point.
good for multiple years to get a respectable rating. They're not just going to boost you up after one good season. And,
yeah, that's fair.
JSN's not going to get this massive jump all of a sudden being that high. Puka, there's like one final step to become the best receiver in the NFL. I do think that Jamar Chase has earned this spot as the top receiver.
I'm assuming Myles Garrett is a 99 overall.
Correct.
Pretty
Nothing
obvious.
really to dispute there.
Yeah, pretty obvious one.
Fearmonger.
There's two more.
Just horrifying X factor.
One of them's got to be a quarterback. I don't think it's going to be Mahomes, though.
You'd be right.
Josh Allen?
Yep.
Yeah.
99.
Genius. One more 99 overall player.
It's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Really?
I'm like getting worked up about it.
Can you give me an
speak.
offense or defense?
It's offense.
It's ludicrous, he says. Okay, so maybe it's a running back?
No.
No. It's ludicrous. An offensive lineman not named Penei Sewell?
Yep.
Oh, really? Like Tristan Wirfs?
No. I'd have less of a problem
Is
if it
Trent
was Tristan
Williams
Wirfs.
still a 99? They've always loved Trent Williams in this game.
No, he's still up here, though, because he's
Lane
like a
Johnson,
legacy guy.
they've always loved
Yeah,
Lane
it's
Johnson.
freaking Lane Johnson.
They've always loved him.
Lane Johnson, by the way, looking at it last year, had a 74 offensive grade on PFF. 74. Penei Sewell, 95, led all offensive linemen. They had identical pass blocking grades. Penei Sewell had a 69.7 run blocking grade, which is the second highest of any season that's ever been tracked by PFF for an offensive lineman. That was 96.7. Lane Johnson had a 69.8. So a 17-point difference in the run blocking grade. In identical pass blocking grades. I don't get it. I don't know why Lane Johnson's a 99. I hate it. Those are your 99 guys, though.
It's Madden for you.
All right, now give me the 98.
So I want all 97 pluses is what we're going for here?
Yeah.
Okay, is Penei Sewell one of them?
Correct.
Did he get in that mix at least?
Penei Sewell's a 98 overall,
Nice.
tied for the
Okay.
second highest Lion.
I won't complain about... Wait, the second highest Lion?
Or tied for the highest Lion.
Okay. I won't complain about Sewell being a 98. That's awesome. Now, Lane Johnson being a 99, sure, that can be complained about. Okay, so there's another Lion. I don't think it would be like Hutchinson, right?
No, Hutchinson is... oh, man, Nick Bosa's 95, and I still haven't seen Aiden Hutchinson. Wow.
I figured he'd be like in the low 90s. So they gave Jahmyr Gibbs a 98
Hutchinson's
overall.
a 93.
Okay.
And Will Anderson's a 94, to put that into perspective.
They gave Gibbs a 98 overall.
Gibbs is a 98. Here's the thing, though. Gibbs
That's
is
crazy.
a 98 overall, but doesn't have an X factor. Weird, right?
Yeah, don't like all the high overalls have X Factor?
Not Jahmyr
Okay.
Gibbs.
I'm guessing Bijan Robinson is probably also a 98 overall then if Gibbs is.
He's a 95.
Whoa.
I know.
Wow, okay.
And there's so Gibbs, Bijan's a 95. Jonathan Taylor's a 96. Christian McCaffrey's also a 96.
Okay, I was going to guess McCaffrey. So is there any other running backs in this 98, 97 group then? I would assume no.
No.
I don't know who
Jahmyr
else.
Gibbs
Yeah.
is the highest rated Madden player, which
Nice.
makes sense because he's just a Madden cheat code. You
I
can
figured
line him up as a
McCaffrey would be,
receiver.
though. Like, just based off the legacy stuff, like, McCaffrey's been a 99 in the past.
But he has been, and McCaffrey
What
has
about
an X
Saquon?
factor.
Wasn't Saquon a 99 going into last year?
He was. Saquon Barkley.
So he really took a dip, huh? Wow.
Barkley is a 92 with an X factor. Why does Saquon have an X factor as a 92, and Gibbs doesn't have one as a 98?
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to get all the wide receivers out of the way. I bet there are 3 more receivers that are 98 or 97. JSN, Puka, Jefferson. All 3 of them got to be.
Nope. Puka's the only receiver left in the 97 and up group.
Okay. Really? What is he? 97?
He is a 97.
What
No,
is?
wait. He is, yes, a 97.
What's
Sorry.
Jefferson then?
A 94.
Dang.
The stats have not
Wasn't
been
he a
kind.
99 before too?
He has been.
Yeah, the numbers are down. That's a good point. The numbers
stats
are
have
certainly down.
not favored Justin Jefferson
And what did we
for
say
multiple
JSN
years.
was? He was in the mid 90s, right?
JSN was a 95.
Okay.
Which I think is fair. You don't get to be a 99 and in this elite club after one season.
Okay, so let me go to quarterbacks now. Let me see how many QBs they have.
But Jonathan Taylor above Bijan is.
That's kind of crazy.
I don't get that one.
Mahomes has to be at least a 97 or 98. So I'll guess Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is a 92.
92?
92.
What? Is that like including his injury? He's like a -5 right now with the injury.
Yeah, they'll bump him up once he starts playing again.
Oh my gosh, what?
Isn't that crazy?
So like, no way Matt Stafford is a 97 or 98, right?
Oh, brother, you would be correct. Matt Stafford is in this group.
So I'd be wrong.
Yeah, you'd be wrong. He's a
yeah.
98 overall, the reigning MVP.
Wow, shout out to Matt Stafford.
Those are your two highest graded quarterbacks.
Is there any other QBs in this mix or no?
Nope.
Wow, only 2 quarterbacks. Okay, so how many like more offensive players do I have here? I feel like I've gotten most of the offensive guys out of the way.
You would think so. There's a couple more.
How many 97 and 98 overalls is there? Jeez, oh Pete's.
You've only got. Actually, I'm going to give you Trent Williams because you already said Trent Williams.
Okay, yep.
There's 2 tight ends.
And I have no more offensive linemen?
No.
2 different tight ends. Right. Okay, McBride deserves it.
Yeah, he's a 97.
Yeah, that's fair. I would guess that they still have George Kittle in this group.
As a 98.
Yep,
he's still just like
that's
one of the best
classic
players.
Madden thing. Yeah, that's a bad or classic Madden thing.
He's just marketable. That's why.
Yeah,
he's marketable. They like him. They like putting his face in like a lot of like the side games in it.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest are defensive.
That's
players.
all the offensive. Okay, defensive guys. Boom, let's go. Okay, I already got Myles Garrett out of the way. Last year they had Surtain crazy high. I don't think he would be this high again. But I might as well guess him, I guess.
Yeah, he's a 97, the second highest rated corner.
The second highest rated corner.
Yeah, I don't come up with these rankings, man.
Oh, man, who would be first? No way it's Sauce Gardner. So would that mean it's probably like Stingley?
Nope.
Who would be the other corner?
Again, man,
I'm like really struggling. Okay, I'm going to move off of that for now. You already told me Will Anderson wasn't in this group. Is Micah Parsons in this group?
Yeah, Micah Parsons is a 98 overall.
100%. What about Max Crosby? I feel like the game has always loved Max Crosby.
97 overall. It gets into the legacy stuff. If you do it for multiple years and multiple years, they'll reward you.
That's
Even
fair.
if you have a down year like Max Crosby
You know
did
a guy
last year.
that Madden has really loved? He's certainly not on here, but Derwin James is always like rated way higher than he is in real life, I feel like, in Madden.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's not in this group,
I figured he wouldn't be in here. Okay, so who is the corner? I'm like really struggling to think of who this could be.
It's the only 98 you have left.
Only 98. Is it Devon Witherspoon?
Nope.
I'm trying to think if they gave Seattle some love.
Different guy who played in the Super Bowl, though.
Oh, Christian Gonzalez.
98 overall.
Wow.
Crazy.
98. That early for him. Wow, okay. How many more guys do I have just in general here? Can't be that many.
You have
Like they probably
one.
have a safety
You have
in there. Okay.
You said Puka. You've got one.
Not Fred Warner.
It is Fred Warner.
Oh, okay. Another guy that they just always
So Fred
love.
Warner gets hurt, and he gets a 97 still, but Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, and he gets knocked to a 92? How is the
Classic.
best player in the league a 92?
Classic Madden, man.
And Derwin James,
best
by the
player
way,
in
is
the league.
still a 93.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. They always love him. I got a quick random question for you
Sure.
because I think this would be funny.
There's 89 players with a 90 or higher rating.
That's unbelievable. MLB draft happened this weekend. What first name was drafted the most?
John.
No.
Trey.
No. You're on the right path though. Classic white dude name, like young white kid name. Classic.
Chris. Kyle. Jack.
Nope. Chris was seven Chris's though. Jack was second. 12 Jacks. Jack's a good one.
Mark.
Nope.
That's kind of old
Yeah.
white guy name.
It's Ryan.
Ryan.
15 Ryans drafted in the MLB draft this weekend.
All right. 989-837-6125. First Ryan that comes to mind. Ready, set, go. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan McChrystal, because he played here this weekend. Yeah, it's a bad one.
It's a unique one. It's a quiche one. 989-837-8. Whoa.
Ryan's got them all tossed up.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitts. Looking for a fun way to keep your kids active this summer? Try the Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon. Yes, that is.
Wait a second.
The Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon.
Oh, because try is used 3 times in that as like try.
And you can go ahead and try out the Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon. It's happening July 17th and 18th for kids ages 3 to 15, giving them a chance to swim, bike, and run while building confidence, self-esteem, and healthy habits that can last a lifetime. Sign up your young athlete today and let them discover what they're capable of. At the Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back into the show, everybody. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Kyle Sandel behind the glass today. It is one of the, this 4-day stretch, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, is by far the worst sports stretch that we have in the calendar year. We have the Home Run Derby tonight. We have the All-Star Game tomorrow. Please tell me there's a World Cup game on Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday.
Nothing on Thursday?
I don't think so.
So Thursday really might be the worst sports day of the year, because I think the World Cup schedule is
Tuesday, Wednesday are the semifinals, and then Sunday is the championship.
Thank God for the World Cup, man. I never would have thought I'd say the day. But yes, it's a rough week, starting with the Home Run Derby tonight, which has just lost a lot of juice over the years. Would you agree? I feel like what used to make the Home Run Derby and All-Star Weekend events special is it was your chance to see all of them on the same stage. But now in today's generation, where you have social media and you can instantaneously see highlights and players hit home runs, whether it's National League or American League, and you see every dunk that happens in the NBA, it makes for a less exciting All-Star Weekend in general. All of the stars being together isn't as special. And specifically with the Home Run Derby, I hate that they changed the format of it, what feels like every single year, and every year I got to spend half the Home Run Derby trying to figure out what the rules for this one are. There's no big-time super-duper stars playing in it most of the time. Now, Junior Caminero is obviously having a great season. I wouldn't consider him a superstar. Bryce Harper's the lone super-duper star that we have in the Home Run Derby this year, but no Ohtani, no Ohtani Judge, no De La Cruz, no O'Neal Cruz, who should just be in the Home Run Derby every year. I don't care what his numbers say. He's built for a Home Run Derby. No Bobby Witt, no Soto, no Yordan. There's just, I don't know, man. The Home Run Derby used to be something I looked forward to every single year, and I'm sure I'll watch it and enjoy it tonight. The thing that really has me hell-bent is changing the format of it, what feels like every other year or every year. I don't know how anyone is supposed to think that they know what the Home Run Derby is anymore when they do this every season. And this year, again, they're changing it to limited swings rather than a time. There's no timer this year, which I enjoyed the timer.
Yeah, this is very similar to the take that I have on, NBA All-Star Weekend and stuff. It's just, I don't even care. I used to like the Home Run Derby when I was a kid. I actually really enjoyed the Home Run Derby.
I would have friends over to watch it.
Yeah, it was a big deal. But, I don't know, maybe it's just something that as you grow older, it's just, it's not as cool anymore. That could be. I just don't even care. Like you said, I don't even know the format of tonight. I have no idea how it's going to work. Am I going to watch it? I might, throw it on the TV.
Yeah, is it one-on-one? Is it a tournament? Is it
just everybody goes and the top three advance to the final round? I have no idea how the format is. I'm not going to lie. I didn't even know who was in the Home Run Derby until this morning when I looked it up.
Neither did I.
I had no idea who was in it.
They've done a bad job marketing it, I think.
But, also, I think it's on Netflix, right? Isn't this on Netflix tonight?
Wait, what?
I think so.
Is it really?
Yeah. The Home Run Derby is on Netflix tonight.
Oh, this is news to me.
So Ben's all in now. He loves the Netflix events.
I do love the Netflix events, but and that will make me more inclined to turn it on, I think. I'm just
why?
I just think it's cool. I like checking out the live stuff on Netflix. In Philadelphia, yeah, I don't know, man.
I just don't really care. It is the break. It's the All-Star break for a reason. I'll tune into it.
So what does Kyle Sandel do a week where there's no Tigers, you're not going to watch the All-Star game? I think the game itself matters less than it ever has. I'm in the rare camp that I liked that it was for home field advantage in the World Series. I loved it.
Yeah, of course you did.
What's Kyle going to do this week with nothing on?
Probably go see the new Minions movie. That's about it.
You got to wait until this weekend, right, to see the Odyssey?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to catch up on some movies to watch, I think, this week. That's probably going to be my thing. It's too nice outside, though. It's way too nice to watch movies. That's the worst part.
Hop on the bike, roll around town.
Maybe I get the new college football game. That's probably what I'll do.
If it's too nice to watch a movie, it's too nice to play college football.
That's a great point.
989-837-6125. More on the Detroit Tigers. I'm going to convince you in 2 minutes why Tarek Skubal being traded is the best move.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix.
Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. WLUM, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. 11 o'clock hour brought to you by Yeder Insurance. Ben Bosscher here, Kyle Sandel behind the glass today. We'll get to news again at 11:30. Here's the thing, guys. I am going to be able to convince you trading Tarek Skubal is the right move with one simple stat. In the last 19 games that the Detroit Tigers have played with Tarek Skubal on the mound, they are 8-11. 8-11. They don't always win when he's out there. And if there's a chance you can go cash in this Ferrari type of player with 70,000 miles on it for a new BMW, a new Camaro, a new Jeep, you can have all three just by trading in this Ferrari, then you do it. You do it. 8-11. There's no guarantee that they win games when Tarek Skubal's out on the mound. Their offense isn't good enough, and that was apparent yesterday when they took Skubal out of the game 93 pitches in the sixth inning. He hasn't made it out of the sixth inning since he's come back from injury. Guys, in the playoffs, he's going up against other aces, and as it is right now, this Detroit Tigers team is not good enough to win a World Series. Plain and simple. They don't have the tools offensively. They are not deep enough. So if that's the case, trade Tarek Skubal now. Get yourself a few pieces back in return And maybe, just maybe, you could go get Tarek Skubal back in free agency because there could very well be max contracts put in place, which would make it that $400 million number that we always talked about. That number would be thrown out the window because nobody could give him a 10-year, $400 million deal. There would be a max deal, which would put the Tigers in a position to potentially regain him. But either way, don't you want to trade in the one sports car for 3 really high-end premium brand new cars? Maybe not as nice of the sports car, but come on. You can fill up the garage. And you can actually try to put yourself in a position to where when you do have an ace, whether that's Troy Melton or Jackson Jobe or somebody else in free agency, you always win those games because the offense is good enough. The only way the offense becomes good enough is if you go get players for Tarek Skubal. You go bulk up the farm system. And it doesn't have to be a bunch of guys to go win a Midwest League title for West Michigan again. That's not what this has to be. You can go get AAA guys or players that are ready to contribute now for this Detroit Tigers team so you don't have to deal with the How You Lees and James Outmans anymore. And nothing against those guys, but like, come on, if the Tigers are going to take that next step forward and be one of these awesome offenses, which I think we can all agree is the most fun brand of baseball to watch, these guys aren't going to cut it. They're going to have to get some blue chip talent back in return on offense. They're not good enough to win right now with Tarek Skubal. It's not a guarantee that they win games. So if there's a chance you can go get 3, 4, 5 players in return for him, you do that right now at this year's trade deadline rather than waiting until this offseason and all you get is a comp pick for him. That's my number one reason why you should trade Tarek Skubal. It's as easy as that. They're 8-11 in his last 19 starts. They don't always win with him out there. So why keep him around just to lose him for nothing?
The issue is the guy that is in charge of trading the Ferrari for 3 nice new cars has a history of showing up to the car dealership and signing up for all the extra unneeded warranties. And, oh, sure, I'm willing to sign up for that and this. Oh, I'll get finessed for free. Sure, why not? I guess I will.
Yeah, it's worth it's $100,000 car. Sure, I'll sell back to you for $40,000.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'll trade it in for some other car that's got 70,000 more miles on it than this one.
Yeah.
He has a history of that. And so it's easier said than done. In theory, yes, it makes a lot of sense. The guy that's in charge of doing it is a guy that not only we don't trust, but has a history that we can look at and say we don't trust.
Yeah. It's one of the more bizarre situations I can remember for a major league team in. And it was more bizarre last week and they were in the middle of their hot stretch. Like, at least this weekend was a little bit of a reality check.
But every time he pitches, it feels like more happens. Like, we got 2 things with Tarek Skubal pitching this weekend of just like hey, I want to be here the rest of the year. And I want the Tigers. I think we can go to the World Series. And then he gets pulled from the game and he's like, yeah, I was pretty upset about it. Like, I don't really agree with it. I understand what he's doing, but I thought I had more in the tank. And it's just like every time Skubal pitches, it's extra stuff added on.
Have you ever read a Tarek Skubal quote or heard a Tarek Skubal quote and been like, I love this guy? Like, no, it always
quote.
Leads to something like, oh, come on, man. No, we're not buying at this year's deadline. Oh, I want to be here. I want to be in Detroit for the rest of the season. Like, brother, that means nothing to us. You want us to dictate how we're going to be for the next 5 years because you want to be here for another 3 months?
And that's the thing. Like, I know I did this earlier, but I'll do it again. Like, it's the reason why I compare this situation to the Milwaukee Brewers so much is that what Tigers fans and just Detroit fans want in general, of course you want the World Series, but we want this team to be good. We don't want to go through exactly what happened with Justin Verlander, where you traded him away, you didn't get anything in return, and all of a sudden the team is like god-awful for 5 years, for 6 years, however long it was.
They're in a position to where that shouldn't be the case at all.
Right, and like the Milwaukee Brewers mindset has always been, okay, it's next guy up. Okay, Corbin Burns, a Cy Young, we got Freddie Peralta, he's pretty good. Freddie Peralta, we got to trade him away going last year of his deal. We've developed this kid named Jacob Mizorowski. Ever heard of him? He's going to be the Cy Young. Like, I'm not saying that Troy Melton and Jackson Jobe are Jacob Mizorowski because they're certainly not, but they're always willing to move on to the next guy up mentality so that there is no window. There is no Tarek Skubal window. No, the window is just all the time. We're all the time going to be good because we're always prepared for what's next. And right now, the Tigers are not. Like, they have some good young pieces, And the pitching staff, they are prepared for it. I'll say they are there, 100%.
Yeah, but let's keep it real. They have 2 players worth anything offensively in their farm system.
Right, and they have 3 guys at the big league level that we're like, yeah, these guys are for sure a part of the squad going forward.
Yeah, everybody
Maybe
else.
Colt Keith, 3.5, I'll say. Like, everyone else is just, I don't know. And
even a Kerry Carpenter, I don't know.
And like, let's just take the conservative route here. Let's say one of those 2 guys in the minor leagues ends up being great. And the other one, we don't know. Like one of Clark or Rayner ends up being awesome.
And the other one's average.
Exactly, which that happens more often than not. Like it's not like all these guys come up and are superstars.
Torkelson's average.
Right. So that's the part that they're not prepared for the next step post-Tarek Skubal. This is how you do it, though.
You trade them away. You go get your 3 new cars. And then who knows, man? Maybe you could get them back in this offseason in which anything is on the table. Anything at all is on the table for how this offseason is going to go. Not just for the Detroit Tigers, but for the entire landscape of Major League Baseball and the way that free agency operates.
And I think it would be foolish to like bank on something going the way that is in your favor going into the offseason. Whereas like you've talked about if it goes through that the teams that own the players going into free agency, they get that extra year to throw onto a deal, right? If the Tigers use that as an excuse to not trade Tarek Skubal, like, oh, but we're going to have the advantage going into any free agency market with Tarek Skubal if we keep him on our team.
Maybe
you might. Yeah, exactly. You also might not get into the playoffs because I can't stand that approach right now. Oh, but if you keep Tarek Skubal for a playoff run. Okay, right now they're not in it still.
Yeah, and just because you have Tarek Skubal around doesn't mean you're going to get in it because they have an 8-11 record in their last 19 games in which he has pitched.
They're playing good. Like, I'm not denying that, and I'm also not going to take away everything that they did playing good based off of those 2 games this weekend against Philly. They're a really good team. It was 2 really good pitchers. But at the end of the day, like, those are the teams you're going to play in the playoffs. Not Philadelphia themselves, but like good quality baseball teams.
Yeah, with strong rotations that could pick apart the second half of your lineup, which
all
is just
better
not up
lineups.
to par.
Yeah, exactly.
The first 3, we've got 3 guys in the lineup every day that you can count on: McGonigal, Dingler, and Riley Green. God, the people that want to trade Riley Green or even entertain it blow my mind. But beyond that, you have nothing. Here's a chance to go get some guys that can help you, and then whoever your next ace is, whether it's Melton, Joe, Montero, I don't really care. Whoever it ends up being, they can have a winning record while they're out there because the offense can actually score some runs. Unlike right now, to where just because you throw Tarek Skubal out there, it doesn't guarantee anything. Oh, we got to keep Tarek Skubal around to go on some playoff run for a playoff push. Guys, they lose more often than not when Tarek Skubal's on the mound because they can't score runs. Go trade him for players that can help every day. Not to be this pitching doesn't matter type of guy. That's not what I'm trying to say. But you need to be able to score runs. You need to be able to hit home runs. That is the era of baseball we are in. And right now, the Tigers, yes, they've hit a massive amount of home runs since June 1st. First in baseball. They also have had stretches where they've been one of the worst teams in baseball in terms of home runs. The only thing that makes sense with this team is that they don't make sense from a month-to-month basis.
Yeah.
They haven't for 3 years.
So does that mean July is going to be terrible? Or post All-Star break is going to be terrible? I don't know. But you say I don't take the stance that pitching doesn't matter. It obviously matters because the pitching is still good outside of Tarek Skubal, right? That's the case we're making. Their lineup does not compare to other lineups across the league that was shown on display against Philadelphia. Their rotation can, with or without Tarek Skubal. So you have to improve that lineup one way or another. Whether it's, I'm not saying go get 3 guys that are going to be big leaguers right now. You're not going to get that. That's not going to happen. But you get guys that you feel within the next calendar year, within the next 2 years, will be like mainstays in this lineup.
Guys, 8-11 is Skubal's record in the last 19 games. He is just as much of an impact on winning as Framber Valdez does, because Framber Valdez is also 8-11 this year, or the Tigers are in games that Framber Valdez starts. Right now, there's no difference when those guys go out there that's impacting whether or not the Tigers win or lose. Now, you can look at WAR, and that would tell you, obviously, a different story. But I'm telling you right now, last 19 games, Framber Valdez, the Tigers have just as many wins when Framber Valdez is out there versus when Tarek Skubal's out there. The difference is it's marginal. You have to be able to score runs. And right now, a way to capitalize on an issue that you have is to trade away Tarek Skubal to help you do that. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Like I said, the 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yiter Insurance Group. They'll be there when you need them since 1940. Should also tell you, when the seasons change, obviously we're in the midst of summer right now, but no matter what, Maple Hill Nursery is always hard at work for you. They offer professional snow plowing in the winter. That's irrelevant right now. Spring and fall cleanup to get your yard looking best year-round. And then, of course, right now they've got their mowing services to keep your lawn in top shape all summer long. From winter to spring, summer, and fall, Maple Hill Nursery is your all-season lawn and landscape partner here in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Kyle, I don't think Warde Manuel, if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm making the case why Warde Manuel should stay. It sounds like the Board of Regents this week is going to discuss the future of the athletic program and whether or not Warde Manuel will be in charge of it. Here's the thing, guys. Michigan hired a private investigating firm to look into the athletic department and the way it's being run and whether or not they think it's a healthy, sustainable structure. All that information is supposed to come out on Thursday, but in part of that, Michigan is going to decide whether or not Warde Manuel should be employed. Now, if this private investigation firm that Michigan hired comes out and it's like, yeah, Warde Manuel's not a fit leader, then so be it. You probably got to move on from him. But if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm hoping that this investigating firm didn't find anything and that they don't think Warde Manuel's the cause of all of these problems and that you keep him around. Look, all these bad apples that have happened in the Michigan Athletic Department, it's not like Warde Manuel has hired them other than Juwan Howard, which, by the way, went to an Elite Eight his first year in the tournament, won the Big Ten his second year in college basketball. We all applauded it for a couple of years until it turned sour, and then they fired him. If I'm defending Warde Manuel, I'm saying, well, he hired Dusty May and tried to make him the highest paid coach in college basketball, and he left. He never signed a contract. I'm saying Jim Harbaugh told me I had to hire Sharon Moore, that he was the next guy. Okay, why would I not believe Jim Harbaugh? He just delivered a national championship. Okay, if you think he's the guy, then I trust you. Could not have been more wrong. In terms of covering up the Sharon Moore and the Stallion stuff, he didn't really cover up any of the Stallion stuff. He was just kind of caught with his hands tied behind his back because the Big Ten took action before he even could. But as for the Moore stuff, obviously it seems like Michigan may have known about that for a little bit, covered it up. Look, it's when your coach screws something up that poorly and does something to that magnitude, there's no proper way of handling it. You either let it come out in the middle of the season and fire him in the middle of the year, same way Michigan State did with Mel Tucker, and it just derailed the entire season. Not to say that they were going to be a national championship team, but they were 2-0, and they fired Mel Tucker, and boom, just like that, they became one of the worst teams in college football, and it takes away from an entire season from the players. It's an unfortunate way of doing things. So Michigan decided, you know what, we're just going to fire him after the year. Then they fire him, and he loses his absolute mind and ruins his entire life by running around Ann Arbor with a knife. Yeah, Sharon Moore, what he did to himself has nothing to do with what Warde Manuel was doing. And then as for the Juwan Howard thing, yeah, they went to the Elite Eight. Like I said, they went to it when they won a Big Ten his second season. Those were consecutive seasons. And I fired him as soon as it got ugly. And what did I do? I hired Dusty May. And there's a couple other weird apples that worked for the Michigan football program. The head of that was Jim Harbaugh and Sharon Moore. They're the ones that are hiring all those other creeps that worked in the organization. So I think there is a good amount of things that you can point to and say, yeah, Warde Manuel has been dealt bad hand after bad hand in terms of the nonsense that he's dealing with. And it's easy to just point to the top and say, yeah, look, there's a good chance that this investigation that's going to come out on Thursday, they just say, yeah, we don't think this is a healthy fit for the organization if you want to make everyone feel like they're working in a safe environment. We think that the best thing you should do, we found through our investigation that Warde Manuel is not fit to lead. Okay, if that's the case, and move on from him. But if they come back and they're like, yeah, like a bunch of weird stuff has happened here, but we don't really think it's because of anything Warde Manuel did, I would not be firing him at all. He hasn't done... look, there's been some bad things that have happened, but he's really good at hiring people. And guess what? He cares about winning more than anything else. And if I'm a Michigan fan, that's all I care about because I know that's what every other college's approach is right now. Nobody has morals. Nobody has ethics. If that's the goal, Warde Manuel should have been gone a long time ago. But that's not the goal. The goal is to win national championships. And Warde Manuel, in his time, has already won 2 of those. So I would be hoping for Warde Manuel to stay if I'm a Michigan fan.
Yeah, I would too, but I just don't know if that's going to be the outcome. I think that the fact that this has gone kind of public and Dusty May's departure, I really do think does play a factor in this, just because it's like, hey, even like the awesome basketball coach that you hired, like 100%, that's one of the best hires of the decade across all college sports. He's gone in 2 years. He's out the door.
Because he had so much success.
Sure, but like he still's gone at the end of the day. Like it's still... Like, we can sit here and say, what an awesome hire. Okay, but now what? Like, now, who's next now? Like, what can you hang your hat on now? It's a sport and just an industry that is constantly moving. It's what are you doing for me now, not what have you been doing for me. And so I also just think the outcome from whatever this meeting and decision that's going to be made, I just struggle to think that they're going to go through all of this, have this investigation, everything, and then come out of it and be like, yeah, no, nothing. We're good. Like, it's going to stay.
It'd be the most
everything's gonna stay
Michigan
the
thing
same.
ever for nothing to happen.
It
Like,
would.
yeah, we looked
sure,
into
but
it.
It just feels like this is inevitable, right? Like, Ward Manuel's time at Michigan did have to come to an end at some point. Now, I didn't think it would happen now. I thought it was going to happen like pretty close to the similar time that the Sharon Moore stuff happened. But now that we have been removed from, it's a summertime, I guess it is a good time for, there's nothing going on, no college athletics. I just struggle to think that this era of Ward Manuel being the AD of Michigan is going to continue after Thursday. Not saying it's what should or shouldn't happen. After all of the things that have gone down, now just does feel like the appropriate time going into the football season to say, okay, because everything's already set up. It's not like this is going to change anything. It is like the right time to do it, I guess, from a not screwing anybody over thing.
I think it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this public or private investigative firm is going to find when they search into this thing. Would it surprise me if they were like, yeah, we didn't really think anything happened with Sharon or with Ward Manuel. We don't think he did all that much wrong. No.
And I also don't think it's going to be worded, if this does go down this way, it's not going to be, Ward Manuel has been fired. It's going to be, they have agreed that it's best for them to part ways. He's retiring, whatever they want to phrase it as. It's going to be in a lighter lens.
Michigan doesn't fire I don't even think they fired Juwan Howard. Like, it always just works out in a way where it's like, we're moving on.
They've agreed to part ways.
Yeah, Michigan doesn't fire anybody. It's like a weird, I don't really know what it is.
I just wonder, too, like,
they just don't do it.
Like, let's look at Ward Manuel's perspective. Do I want to continue to be the Michigan AD? Like, do I?
That's a good question. Does Ward Manuel want to stay here? I mean, if Michigan's paying you to go away, then perhaps there's a pretty good out there of just like, yeah, let's go put our feet up in the sand and be done with this whole nonstop work, crazy college atmosphere.
Sure.
But I don't think you sign up for that job without kind of having a little bit of crazy in you and being competitive.
At the end of the day, have I accomplished some of the things that I wanted to do?
100%.
The two biggest sports we've won a national title in, we brought Larry Ellison in to fund the crap out of this athletic program. Like, what else am I supposed to have done,
Yeah, I think there's always like the I don't want to go out this way type of thing that every human has to deal with.
You want to go out on your own terms, of course.
Yeah, and they can phrase it that way however they want, but that's not what this is. I don't know. How old is he?
I don't think extremely old.
I don't think so either.
But I mean, also this is a sport that, or
he's
not
58.
a sport, but
he's a little older than I thought. Maybe
this is just ADs really don't be sticking around for the crazy long. Like it's not very typical for an athletic director to just be there for so many years. So we're kind of in that cycle right now for Michigan.
Yeah, I mean they're not supposed to have a turnover every.
Of course,
8 months the way the Michigan State's doing
Michigan
it.
State would beg to differ. Yeah,
Michigan State's like, wait, you've had one AD for 10 years?
Wait, we've hired a new president every year.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Doing huge this week too. So for those in the Great Lakes Bay region listening,
that show is huge.
You're stuck with me all day, all week. Hey, if you're looking to move, meet Matt Smith, Modern Realty. Redefining real estate with a fresh and modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you, cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and commitment to making your real estate experience as smooth and successful as possible. From cozy starter homes to luxury properties, they know how to find you the perfect fit. Trust a team that combines innovation with real-world know-how. That is Matt Smith, Modern Realty.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we got 30 minutes left together. We'll do our 3 traditions to close out every show at the end. Kyle Sandel, it's your time to take it away with the news, though.
The Mitts Morning Catch.
Okay, we're back into the news. Home Run Derby tonight. Kyle Schwarber's your favorite. You're going to watch that. It's on Netflix at 7 o'clock if you're interested.
You want a Netflix and
No, it'd be
crack
no,
home
it'd
runs?
be home. Okay, it'd be Home Run Derby and chill.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, you want to do that? It's on Netflix. You might as well. Let's look at the Covenant Healthcare injury report. Dylan Dingler did return to the Tigers this weekend, so that was good to see ahead of this week's All-Star game. I'm assuming that means positive signs for Dylan to be in the All-Star game because he returned to the Tigers lineup yesterday after that hand injury that didn't put him on the injured list, but they called up Eduardo Valencia, so you kind of figured, you give Dingler the weekend off. But he was back in the lineup yesterday.
Yeah, it's good to see Dingler is healthy. I got really scared. I was like, there's no way, man. Are we really just going to do this? Are we really going to get hot and then lose who's been maybe the best player on the Tigers all year? So really lucky that obviously all the x-rays came back negative. We had to come up with new phrasing for x-rays coming back negative, by the way. It took me so long to really okay, negative is good.
Negative is a good, yeah, true.
We got to come up with a new verbiage on that. Like, hey, the x-ray
He's fine.
Yeah.
Can we just say that?
The x-ray results were successful. I don't know. Something.
But the results being successful, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
We get. Let's stick to the x-ray results came back clean or dirty. There's no
Clean or dirty.
Yeah.
Clayton Safey, by the way, just throwing out on X, the Everything app right now. Michael's letting us know in the YouTube chat. I got this quote pulled up. Ward Manuel tells Yahoo Sports, quote, "The president and I have had several great conversations over the past couple of days. There are no plans for me not to continue to be the athletic director for the near future." Interesting phrasing there.
Yeah.
There are no plans for me not to, aka there are plans for me to, I guess. Okay, we'll see what happens. Obviously, we're going to find more out as this week develops, but that's a good sign for the people that want Ward Manuel to remain as the athletic director with Michigan. Other stuff going on in the news. World Cup semifinals start tomorrow. France and Spain facing off, and then England versus Argentina on Wednesday. Ben and I's short run of being fans of Norway died Saturday via England.
I'm 0 for 4 on World Cup bets, by the way.
Really?
Personally. Yeah, it's I'll rock the United States. Never mind. All right, now I'll rock Norway. Nope, never mind. So now I'm jumping on the Argentina bandwagon, which is I'm sorry, Argentinian fans.
Yeah, they're just going to lose now because of this. I didn't watch any of the Norway-England game. I was at a wedding Saturday, and I just completely forgot that it was on, which sucked because I wanted to watch it. But I guess I probably would have been sad if I watched it and Norway lost. So, sure. France-Spain, though, that's a pretty, heavyweight matchup in the semifinal. So that's tomorrow. And then, as mentioned, England-Argentina, your other semifinal game Wednesday. The third-place game will be on Saturday. The World Cup title game will be on Sunday. More Michigan news. This is it's not negative news, I guess. We got this news on Friday after the show, so it's old by now, but still worth noting. Mike Boynton Jr. has agreed to a 2-year deal to officially be named the Michigan's head basketball coach. He gets the interim tag taken away. Well earned after retaining the entire roster for next year's Michigan's men's basketball team. I did not expect that. I figured they would keep all the transfers and returners. The freshmen, keeping all of them was the toughest part, and they did all of that. So Mike Boynton Jr. for the next 2 years could be the next Dusty May.
Yeah, I'm all for them taking off the interim tag basically to keep him as an interim coach with a 2-year contract. That's almost nothing. They could very easily just say, thanks for being the head coach for a year, or thanks for being the head coach for 2 years, and not retain him, or if this season goes poorly, fire him and not have all that much dead money that you'd have to still owe him. I can't imagine he's a very highly paid head coach anyway, so even if this season went super poorly, you fire him and you're not actually losing all that much money anyway. It's taking the interim tag off, but I don't think he's earned like, oh yeah, I'm the coach of the future yet.
Right. I mean, they never even went through like a full hiring process. So
he couldn't have.
Yeah, exactly. So I would agree. Like 2 years from now, will he be the coach of Michigan? I would assume not. But also, if they're like really good for the next 2 years, doesn't he kind of have to be? Right? Like,
yeah, he will be.
So
they have to like. I don't know. They're not going to win a national championship, I don't think. But you got to show something. If you make the tournament back-to-back years, you're probably just going to get extended.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which should happen.
NBA Summer League continuing to go on. We had Ibuka Okori's second game with the Pistons yesterday. 14 points, 6 assists. He had 7 steals, Ben. Didn't shoot the ball very well. 5 of 17 from the field. That's okay, though. 7 steals?
It's the 6'8" wingspan, man. The 6'8" wingspan, like he's gonna. It was my natural reaction the day he got drafted. It's like, oh my God, Adam Silver's taller than him. This is a major problem. But the wingspan is really going to let him survive on defense in the NBA. He's always going to get hunted. He's never going to be like some premier defensive player. But it's the same thing with Dennis Schroeder. Like, no, he's just sturdy. He gets up under guys, and he's got the long arms. The exact same wingspan and height as Dennis Schroeder. So I think it's a pretty good comp.
Yeah, Pistons continuing their summer league. I'm checking to see when their next game is. I just had this pulled up.
Tonight.
It is tonight. Okay. Yeah, against the Knicks. Ooh. And it's on Prime Video as well. It's at 4 p.m. actually, so it's a little bit earlier today if you want to tune into, hopefully, Ibuka Okori. A.J. DeBonsa shined in his, what they said would be his final summer league game the other night. Another 20-plus point game. Makes sense, though. Like, no point in these guys to continue to play, like the star rookies coming in.
You see Peterson dunk on somebody yesterday?
I did.
Nasty.
Yes.
Nasty stuff.
100%. The Mavericks are playing the Grizzlies tonight, so we'll see if we get Cameron Boozer against the Mavs and Merez Johnson Jr. That should be a pretty fun matchup. We, of course, saw that last year when Michigan took on Duke.
I used to really love Summer League. I think I only
really love Summer League.
I think I only really loved it because the Pistons stunk. And it was like, oh, yes, now we get to see our top prospects. Now it's like, yeah, I got to see Ibuka Okori for a game and a half.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I never, like, really loved Summer League. Like, the year that Cade was coming in was, like, an exciting one just to watch Cade. But
I loved the 2 Ivy years, too, in Summer League. Like, that, to me, was really exciting both times, too.
It's exciting, but, like, to say, like, I loved it.
I'll never forget the Jaden Ivey versus Jabari Smith Summer League game.
Oh, when Jabari Smith killed James Wiseman?
Yeah.
Was just, I mean,
James Wiseman in year 6, starting center in Summer League.
Jabari Smith, too good for Summer League. Like, he was already too good. It's like, what are you even doing here?
Yep.
All right, the Open Championship is this week. We mentioned it earlier. Scotty Scheffler, who is the reigning champion of this event, is the favorite still at plus 700, despite missing the cut for the first time in 4 years at the Scottish Open last week. Tom Kim winning the Scottish Open at just 24 years old. It's his 4th win on the PGA Tour already, so good for Tom Kim. As far as the rest of your other top favorites to take the Open Championship this week, Rory McIlroy is second. It's over there in Europe, so you feel like a little bit of an advantage for him. Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, a couple of Brits as well there at plus 1,500 and plus 1,800.
I once again this morning had to do the deep dive on, okay, who's a part of the UK? Northern Ireland is, but Ireland is independent, but Northern Ireland's still part of Ireland as well. And I went down like 5 minutes of a rabbit hole, and I like had to snap out of it because last time I did this, I thought I figured it all out, and then I was still wrong when we met someone from either Northern Ireland or Ireland.
Yeah,
at
that's
the Loons
right.
game
That's
last
right.
year.
Somebody was like explaining it. I totally forgot about that because we thought we had it figured out, and then they told us like, no, you guys are like so wrong.
Fine, I guess Google's just wrong then.
Yeah, I've been trying to improve my world geography, specifically European geography, but that whole, like, what is a part of the United Kingdom and what's not?
No, it's
I don't know.
Wales, it's Northern Ireland, it's England.
Scotland.
In Scotland,
right?
Yeah, those 4.
Is that it?
Yes.
Well, this is being played in England at Birkdale, so we'll see how this goes. Tournament, of course, starting on Thursday throughout Sunday this week. That's when baseball will return as well. One more thing here in the news, and then we will get out of here. is LeBron about to not go to Cleveland? Brian Windhorst saying this weekend that it is like all but a lock that he is going to a certain team, and it's not the Cavs. That's all he said. He said from a very, very legitimate source, but I can't display any more details. Usually when Brian Windhorst does stuff like this, he ends up being somewhat right.
You know, I read a piece on The Athletic this weekend that was interesting. It wasn't about where he's going to sign or who he's going to sign with. It's about how he's going to announce he signed, because obviously in the last 8 years, Shams has vaulted himself into a completely new territory of reporting. Like,
yeah, he also
Shams
had the LeBron is not going back to the Lakers first.
Correct. So now it becomes, is Shams truly going to solidify himself as like basically that guy by getting the LeBron information?
And he already is that guy, though, right?
But LeBron is like the final test, because no independent or source not working with LeBron has ever announced where LeBron is going in free agency. First, it was the decision. Dwayne Wade didn't even know about it. Like, LeBron truly announced that himself. With the Lakers, he announced that himself. Him returning back to Cleveland, he announced that himself. It has always been LeBron dictating the terms on how it gets announced. So this piece on The Athletic, really good stuff about, is LeBron going to be able to continue this reputation and have some sort of announcement or social media post, or like, is there going to be an ultimate, well, you got to tune into this, or on the golf court, whatever it is he going to dictate the terms of announcing where he's going, or Shams just going to ruin it in a tweet?
Right. That's a good question, because could a thing like the decision happen in 2026? Could that happen? I don't think so. I think it gets out before.
Or could LeBron do it?
Even when he did the decision, though, it's not like zero people knew. Like, the Miami Heat knew. That's been discussed before. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's not like zero people knew about it.
But what's been so funny about this time around...
How much pull does Shams have? Yeah.
What's been so funny about this time around is every team GM president, no one has contact with LeBron. And he's made that very... Like, you can't get a hold of LeBron. You can talk to his agent, and you can send him a voice memo, and Rich Paul will send it to LeBron. But no one has direct contact with LeBron. And in this piece, every GM person that they talk to, every front office person that they talk to has said, we're completely in the dark. We have no idea if we're getting LeBron. We don't have the slightest clue.
I was checking to see if Generic Sportsbook had a LeBron thing on it, but it doesn't. Kind of surprised.
Kelsey does.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to. I don't like that kind of stuff. I just wanted to see if, but I figured they would. I figured we'd gotten to a point. Who's your team? You have a prediction?
Prediction? No. I'm completely in the dark, just like everybody else. I have teams that I think would be fun. Like,
yeah,
I think
for
Minnesota would be
yeah,
awesome.
I'd love Minnesota.
I think Philadelphia would be like really fun with the youth and speed that they play with.
I don't know. I kind of
LeBron.
like the point that Bill was making earlier this week about, like, it seems just like a bunch of guys that LeBron would not play with on Philly.
That's
like
why it'd be fun. 1 through 5, it'd be like, how is this going to work?
Like, these guys are just the type of guys LeBron has never chosen to play with in his career.
What, the super fast guys? And then a ball-dominant Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, and just like guys that have a history of, like, are these guys good teammates or not? You know?
I think the Miami situation would be the most, like, I have to watch this. I have to see how this plays out.
Maybe he wasn't going to go to Miami, and, like, Bam Adebayo beating up Tyler Hero was, like, the last indicator of, you know what, I am going to join.
Yeah, let's go be the Bullies.
I'm going to go back to South Beach.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll get to our 3 traditions when we come back. Midland Area Community Foundation is dedicated to strengthening our community through generosity and connection, supporting local nonprofits, scholarships, and projects that make Midland a better place to live, work, and play.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we've got 3 traditions to close out each and every show here on the Ben Bosscher Show. The first of which is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Man, after a really tough start to the week last week where we went 0-2, I believe we won 3 straight to close out the week with Kylian Mbappe scoring a goal on Friday.
Yeah, he did that on Thursday, but your Friday bet did hit as well. It was Riley Green 2+ hits, plus RBI, plus run. Yeah, so you ended up winning the week, winning 3 days in a row, pretty big. Just 0.07 units up on the week. That's exactly what you needed to do. So right now in July, you're 0.82 units up as well. So a good start to July. You're 13-14 in the 27 weeks of 2026, but the all-time score is still 12 units down. So the loss weeks have been big losses, whereas the 1 weeks have been kind of like this, 3 and 2s.
Well, here's the thing. We're either flying up the charts today,
Yeah.
or we're falling a little bit.
It's going to be a tough week for Lock of the Day in general.
This week in general, it's either going to hurt us a lot or we're going to jump up and make up a lot of ground. And honestly, the approach this week might be let's just try to make up some ground, especially if we win today.
Right.
There's
if you win today, then yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Then if I win today, I basically have 2 free bets Tuesday and Wednesday to try to make up for the deficit, because today's bet is going to be plus 330, so I can still win the week even if I lose 2 in a row. Today's bet is Kyle Schwarber to win the home run derby. They're changing the format. It's swings, not time, which I think favors a big, powerful guy like Kyle Schwarber. He's never won it, which is kind of ironic. You'd think with one of the best home run hitters this generation's ever seen, he'd have a home run derby under his belt, and he does not. The stars are kind of aligning.
Schwarber's never won it?
Yeah, he
Really?
finished second one time.
I was going to say, I feel like I remember him winning it, but I guess not.
Finished second in 2018 to Bryce Harper.
You know, one actually random memory I have of the home run derby is the year that they put Pujols in it when it was in St. Louis as just like Pujols is his last year. We're going to put him in the home run derby. It was the tournament style. No, he beat Schwarber.
Oh, that's
Schwarber
right.
was the 1 seed going up against 8-seeded Pujols, and Pujols beat him in round 1. It was crazy.
Well, if more of that magic can be replicated of home stadium, that's something going in favor of Schwarber too. A home runs derby tonight is in Philadelphia. Last time somebody won it in their home stadium was, in fact, Harper in 2018, who is competing again in this. I think Harper's a little old to win this, to be quite honest.
I mean, Schwarber's just like literally older than Bryce Harper.
Yeah, but there's something like he's just never won it. He's never won it. Come on, can you finally get it done? The stars are aligning. You're in your home stadium. And he's also the favorite. You know, if you're going to be as great of a home run hitter as Schwarber has in his career, you need a home run derby title, and I think this is the chance for Schwarber to get it done. Favorite for a reason. So, Taylor fade.
I'm going to fade. I think Camaro's going to win.
He's been hot.
Yeah.
11 straight games with a home run, or 11 home runs
but like,
in
the fact
11
that
games.
Schwarber hasn't won one does kind of like, there's a reason he's the favorite then. I get that.
Yeah. All right, that is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
If you would have told me the deficit of the whole year going into it, I might have just bet whoever like Murakami. Might have just bet him.
True.
All right, game of the day.
Game of the day.
No way Murakami wins, though, coming off of being injured for a while.
Yeah, probably not.
He's got no chance.
Yeah, I'll go with the home run derby. I don't really have any other options.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're talking about a tough week for lock of the day. It's going to be a tough week for game of the day.
Not, well,
Summer
Thursday.
League, Pistons.
Is there Summer League still on Thursday? Because Thursday's the day I'm really worried about. Because tomorrow we have the All-Star game. Wednesday we'll have a soccer game.
True.
Thursday, what's going on Thursday? Is there
Thursday,
legitimately not a sport?
There's Summer League.
It's going to have
but
to be
like
one of
everyone's
those.
already done, like all the important guys are done playing by then.
We should have we should create a website with like a sports calendar of like, no, here's the coolest stuff on every single day.
ESPN.com.
Yeah, but then it's all separated by groups.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just the best things that are on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is essentially what game of the day
We
is.
could develop that.
All right, that is our game of the day, the Derby.
Game of the day.
Nope.
I got 2 words
my
for you.
bad.
Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
There is no shot Colin's doing his show this week, right?
No way. No way.
This is the week to take off. It's why I'm doing Huge show this week. Like, Huge is gone. Take vacation. You've earned it. Go take vacation. ESPN's on TV up here. None of their normal hosts are doing.
Yeah. Stephen A., no.
This is the
Nothing
week to
going
take
on.
off. So I would guess we're getting a J-Mac show of some sorts. Maybe somebody else.
Might not even be, like, J-Mac, honestly, probably is taking the week off as well.
I don't know. So it leaves what is being discussed is tonight up for debate. So whose turn is it to go first?
My turn to go first. It's 64 all. He did, like, a grand scheme. I can't remember. He did some big grand scheme lead Friday. Neither of us got a point. It was one of those days we're never going to get a point. I think I'm going to go off the rails here. I'm going to take Conor McGregor lead. It's kind of a really rare UFC fighter type of lead, but from whoever it is, I'm going to take that. It's probably wrong, but that's what I'm going to do.
I am going to go with LeBron. Very simple, very
Yeah,
straightforward.
It's probably going to be a good pick all week.
I'm just going to go with LeBron James. Yeah. When in doubt, just pick LeBron. All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in here on a Monday. We will be back tomorrow for a fun show. Hopefully the Derby gives us something tonight, right? All right. That's going to do it for us today. We will talk to you guys tomorrow.
The Ben